Kevin, that's the Lindbergh 37 Ford kit that's on the thumbnail.
What about it?
Oh, Kevin posted in the chat that he liked the. It's a
Oh,
nice boost ride there, Bob. And so well, it's the Lindbergh. It's the Lindbergh 37 Ford. Let's see if I can.
yeah, I don't know what it is, but that comment that you got on the screen with Kevin, it's all blurry to me, so on my end. And it's probably me.
Yeah, this is the kit here that is the 37 custom Ford convertible from Lindbergh.
It's a nice looking kit.
It's a decent kit. I liked it. The frame was a little bit twisted on it, but I got it straightened out without too much trouble, and then it built up just slicker and snot.
Yeah.
I mean, I did that for cancer build. It took me 2 years for the cancer build because I was the year I was got sick and was in the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
So I started it one October and finished it the next October.
Look, there ain't no time on them. I got stuff I've started and ain't finished it.
That's the only year that I posted that build that I didn't actually finish my build. But I was sick and in the hospitals, in and out.
Yeah.
There's Mercy.
Anyway,
Hey,
I'm gonna
Marcy.
get a new coffee. Fancy
Yeah, we
seeing
did it.
y'all here. Ooh, nice. That is a great color.
Yeah, it's stainless steel is the color. Um, I did it for that cancer build, and I chose stainless steel to represent the strength of the people left behind.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's the Lindbergh 37 Ford kit. It turned out really well.
Yeah, that car is a beauty. That is like one of my favorite old cars. I love the 30s and 40s more than I love the 60s.
Yeah, my favorite old car is the 39 Mercury, which is real similar to this one.
Yeah, I can't pick one. That's my problem.
Well, that's my of the old cars. That's my one. Yeah,
Yeah,
there's the
I can't pick one. There's just too many.
for a Lindbergh kit. That's it's just really nicely detailed.
Yeah. How many pieces was the body in?
The body was I'm trying to remember. I want to say just basically the body and the hood were separate parts.
Okay. I can't stand multi-piece
The
bodies. I
fenders weren't
can never get
separate.
them to look right.
The fenders were attached. Yeah,
Yeah. I can never get multi-piece bodies to look right.
yeah. This one, the body and the fenders were all one piece. Now I'm good at Frenching stuff in, but I'm not that good.
Turned out pretty darn good to me.
There's Jimmy, 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 Jimmy.
What's that?
Hey, Jimmy. Hello, hello, everybody in Chatland. Hey, Dale.
While we were away, I made myself some popcorn. So if you hear me snacking, that's what it is.
Crunchy, crunch, crunch.
Other than that, I'm working on my dragon some more, trying to get him all put together.
Yeah, if you're going to paint school, you gotta have them ready. That is a nice looking dragon.
That's probably why I don't do a lot of figures because the painting is 99% of a figure.
Yeah, and larger scale figures are much, much harder to do. Anything over 75 millimeter, you really got to go balls to the wall, or it's going to look tacky as fuck. It'll look like a toy.
Yeah, well,
He's a monster.
he's big. By the time you put his tail on him,
Yeah.
he's about, well, he's over a foot long and almost
How's,
that.
how's, how's the wingspan? Or does he have wings?
Well, he's got his wing kind of folded, but
Yeah, but they're still big.
yeah, yeah. So I don't know if I can get all three pieces in one hand or not, or two hands.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Lay down.
Looks like he's ready to launch.
This is going to be the hardest piece to fit because it fits like total shit.
Yeah, you were showing that the other night.
Hmm.
You might have to do a little whittling to get that to fit.
Yeah, I'm going to heat it up and press it in the best I can and just start super gluing it at one end and work my way down and then fill it.
Is that resin?
Vinyl.
Vinyl. Yeah. I got one vinyl kit and it's Dracula.
Well, it's available in a 3D print now. I wish I'd have known that. The exact same piece. Because I could have sold this one and bought 4 of the 3D printed ones.
Yeah.
And it's all in one solid piece. You wouldn't have to worry about all the seams and stuff.
Yeah. My only figure that's vinyl is Dracula and it's Bela Lugosi. So I'm hoping I can learn to paint faces, paint flesh well enough before my hands decide to give up on me, so I can actually do that kit. I don't look forward to making vinyl fit, fitting it together and all that. It's going to need to be anchored, and I'm going to have to use a little bit of putty. I got to figure out what's the best thing to use to bond vinyl, and what to use for filler.
Epoxy sculpt is what you got to use for filler.
Okay.
But yeah, Bowden I think turned out well. I know the camera won't show him, but and he was a white metal.
Yeah, he looks good.
But he turned out really well. I'm real happy with him. It even looks like Dennis Quaid, so
a little bit, yeah. It's a pretty good likeness. Almost bought a second vinyl figure today. Passed it up and kept on going. a lot of there's a lot of old school horror movie garage kits, and they're the vacuum form vinyl, and they're getting harder and harder to come by. And there's quite a few I'd like to have.
Yeah, this is what I'm using for pillow, the epoxy sculpt.
Yeah.
It's an air dry
Yeah.
clay.
Now, does it shrink at all? Or
So far, it is not. But it's not fully cured yet.
hey, Boston.
It's still a little bit soft. It's not. It's like consistency of chewing gum when you put it in there.
Yeah.
So far, it's not showing any shrinking. But if it does shrink, that's fine because then I can go over that with like plastic putty or and that kind of stuff and do. I'll just do. That's my primary filler because like here was short shot, so it's a huge gap
Yeah.
compared to the other.
Where's Ride the Wind? His favorite shows on My 600-Pound Life.
Compared to this one where
Yeah, you just got a tiny groove.
and most of the only other big one that's going to be is on the neck here. It's got a lot of really big holes I got to fill because I couldn't, as much as I heated it and bent it and stuff, I couldn't get it to meet the way it's supposed to. But yeah, so far it's not really shrinking at all.
Okay.
So, but even if it does, I can go over it with like just the Vallejo plastic putty and
Yeah.
some of the really big holes like underneath this neck, I just put UV resin in because I'm not really going to see it anyway. And the same thing, I can hit it with this little plastic putty and texture it.
Mm-hmm.
My TV isn't too loud, is it?
I don't hear it.
I can just
That's
barely
good,
hear
because
it.
I lost my remote. I can't turn it down.
There should be buttons on the side of the device.
Go to Walmart and get one of those little universal ones for like $6.
Or that.
Yeah. They're out there somewhere. I can't find it, though. Either I'll find it around here, or it'll be in a dog turd in the yard.
You think the dog ate it? Are you blaming the dog?
I don't know. The dog hangs out in here a lot.
Doesn't mean they're guilty of anything. It means they hang out with
I
it.
haven't, Kevin. I fell in love with the 39 Mercury because that was the car from Christmas Story 2 that he bought, and it was just a beautiful. It was a emerald green with the tan canvas top.
Emerald green on a big old land barge. I mean, that's a great choice.
Well, it was a little 39 coupe convertible with the leather colored top, and it was just a beautiful car. I just fell in love with it. I like the big grill on it, and a teardrop headlights and everything. I just fell in love with it.
Yeah.
Britta's in the house.
I'll be right back, guys.
And I just finished editing the video, so update on the Dragon is now alive, and the Charlie Mac D-Day final will be up in the morning.
Cool.
As soon as I go in and put music on it from YouTube Music Library for the slideshow at the end.
Come on, get the first one.
pass through my stuff so I can get my stuff ready for senior fills.
There's Ryan.
Picked up all the stuff I was working on. Now I just gotta pack up all the stuff that's just piled around the way.
Greetings again, you strangers.
Alrighty, huh?
What's up? What's up? What's up?
It's not what's up, it's what's going down, and before long it's going to come out. I had to eat, man. I'd tell you what I had. I didn't want to make you jealous.
What was it?
Green chili enchilada.
Ooh, that's okay. I just ate chocolate cake.
Ooh, even better. For the minor flaws, this kit is disclosure.
What the hell? They have model kits on Etsy?
And there's Sleepy.
Hey, everybody.
Mr.
Hi,
Ed.
Hey,
I didn't enter the studio at first on entering chat because I didn't want to be rude because I was eating my dinner and I didn't want to eat a bowl of ramen in front of all of y'all and then immediately
That's all right.
smoke a cigarette. So
Exactly what I did as to why I didn't drink it earlier.
I ate my dinner in front of everybody.
I was making popcorn before we started. So.
that's okay. What the hell is this? Oh, molded.
hey, Dale. Oh, excuse me. Ramen's talking back to me.
Talking back already?
Yeah, I might end up with the hiccups or the burps in a bit until it settles.
Pretty much, yeah.
You mean you gobbled your food, man?
Hell yeah, I did. It was so good, I forgot to breathe.
Yeah.
You know how everybody goes silent when the food is good? Yeah, it was that.
Ooh, coconut cream pie. Sounds good, Kevin. Now, don't get me wrong, y'all. I may well snack on either some brownies or maybe some Girl Scout cookies that I bought from my boss's daughter.
Yeah, I ran into the crack dealers at Sam's the other night. I got 3 boxes of Samoas.
Oh, them little
You're
shits.
fine. I'm eating popcorn, so
Just be
They're
careful where you
they're
buy
out
your
of-
crackers.
They're out of reach. I have to actually get up and leave this room to get to them. And I also have a pack of McVitie's. I eat those cookies with my, or kind of a cookie cracker, biscuit, whatever. They're kind of like a graham cracker, only better. And I have them with my coffee. I keep a pack of them here on the desk for snacking.
Damn, I put the top on this glue too
I
tight.
love carrot cake, but it doesn't love me.
There we go.
Yep.
Me and the cream cheese don't get along.
Well, that's the best part of it.
I know. That's the problem.
You have dairy problems?
No, just it seems to be just cream cheese gives me
Really?
digestion really bad. But no cheesecake and carrot cake I just kind of avoid most of the time. Sometimes I just say fuck it and eat it anyway.
Yeah. Fuck it and take them for the team, yep.
Drink half a bottle of Pepto when I get done and call it a night.
Damn, they're tripping on prices on this motherfucker.
Shit, I'd have more of a reaction from the nasty ass Pepto than I would eat the other stuff.
No different to me. I go from coffee to have a cigarette to have a Halls, which gives me heartburn, which gives me a Rolade, and then just repeat the cycle. So if you ever hear me talking when it sounds like I got something in my mouth, it's either a Halls or a Rolaids.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, I don't guess.
Well, there is if you're the one with the heartburn.
Yeah, I can see that.
You should put more water in your life so you have less heartburn.
Well, there is that, yeah.
Well, my
I admittedly don't drink enough water, but
Yeah, and taking those antacids is going to fuck your stomach up, man.
yeah,
with that,
there are mornings where I'll wake up and I feel like I've slept and ate a whole box of chalk.
Yeah. Yeah. You're leading yourself to some serious digestive issues, man. You need to.
I mean, with the water thing, if you take water, iron, and heat, you make rust. Well, the human body has iron in it. It produces its own heat. So if you add water, it's going to rust your insides. On top of that,
Then I ought to be rusty as fuck.
Well, that's why they say to drink Coca-Cola. It removes rust from metal.
you got to filter it through a coffee bean.
I filter it through a coffee bean all the time, man.
Thanks, Greta. It's gonna be cool when it's done.
I guarantee it. If you pump blood out of me, you can probably pump out. I'm eating coffee, but I also drink a ton of water.
Water's pretty much the only thing I drink anymore unless I'm not running around.
Yeah, water, lemonade. I'll
I
have
gave up
one
caffeine,
soda.
gave up sugar, soda.
I don't really drink coffee anymore. One a week. And it's usually a cup with real sugar in it, not that corn syrup shit you guys drink.
Hey, Bruce, welcome to jump in if you like. We got room.
Other than a very rare root beer once in a while, like if I was out at a dinner or something, I don't touch soda at all. Not a one. The caffeine, or not the caffeine, but the carbonation in it, that just tear me up, man. Can't do it. Cannot do it.
I've started drinking more juice. I need to get better about soda.
Yeah, I said I cut myself down to one soda a week, and because I drink the ones that have actual sugar in it. And ever since I cut back on the pop itself, it makes me want to stick it. The doctor keeps telling me, oh, you gotta quit drinking so much coffee, and I just tell him, yeah, you gotta eat a bag of dicks.
Whereas me, the only water I drink is either filtered through a coffee bean or has syrup added to it in the form of Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
Man, the inside of your all's kidneys gotta look like a wreck.
Marcy, what are kidneys? I don't think I have those anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Gotta
fine.
have at
That's
least
what I
one.
drink a lot of is coffee, and I'm trying to get better about drinking soda. I drink a lot of coffee. And a unhealthy addiction to energy drinks.
Yeah, those will
No.
mess
Yeah.
your heart up. They're no.
I've been drinking a lot of them, what are they called? Primes lately.
Yeah, that's
Actually, there's like
the
4
rest
bottles
of the
next to me next to
right
my bed.
there. You don't. You can end up with a heart attack.
Got like 4 of these next to my bed.
Not fit for human consumption.
The only energy drinks I ever cared for was the Loco Mocha Monster, and I used it more as a coffee creamer than anything.
Yeah.
I
My
drink
son brought one of those home once to try, and we both retched when we tried it. Like, yeah, that went down the drain.
The Dreamsicle Prime,
bottle
or
energy
not
drink.
Prime, Monster is the shit.
No.
There are only a couple of monsters that I'll drink. A couple of different varieties of the Rockstar that I'll drink.
I only like original Rockstar.
There's only one energy drink I'll even bother with, and the rest of them, absolutely not. And the one that I will costs 25 cents, comes in a little freaking creamer cup at gas stations, and it's triple shot coffee.
Yeah.
Limit 2 a day, and it's like we did 4 of them one day. It's like, yeah. You fucking cornholio bouncing off the walls, man. That shit's
like
good.
I like them Black Rifle coffee energy drinks. Them are pretty freaking good. Which
there's
it's
a couple
basically
of-
just double shot espresso.
There's a couple of varieties of
I
the
drink
Venom
actual
brand.
espresso, and trust me, they're nowhere near actual espresso.
There's a couple of varieties of the Venom brand that I like to drink, and then I like the Starbucks Triple Shot Energy Cafe Mocha.
I've actually never drank out of Starbucks in my
Starbucks is
life.
just dirty water.
Yeah, well, see, if you get the can of the Triple Shot Energy,
You lost me at can.
yeah, you don't have to get that at Starbucks. You get that at Walmart.
You lost me at
or-
can. I don't drink anything out of the can.
But it's a coffee energy drink, just like the Monster coffee energy drinks that, like what
I like
Ryan
those.
Mocha Mocha.
I think I've only actually ever stepped foot in a
There you go.
Starbucks one time, and it was to take a shit.
I call
Yeah,
BS.
using the bathrooms and I kind of have been in there too.
No, I've never
Convenience right at the corner. And
I never drank at a Starbucks. There's this place down the road from my house called Scooters I've been into, but it's not a Starbucks for sure. It's a lot different.
Closest I've been to being in a Starbucks is like the Starbucks kiosks at like an HEB or Kroger or something like that. I've never been actually inside of a brick and mortar Starbucks. And I don't intend to, because I don't get the Starbucks from the kiosks very often either, because it's way
not good.
overpriced and it's
Yep.
not strong enough.
Speaking of shit, y'all, I'll be right back.
It's overpriced. It's low quality, and when they clean the parts of the coffee machines, they put them in the fucking dishwasher. You don't put soap anywhere near the parts that touch coffee.
Oh wow.
That's why it tastes like shit.
Yeah.
The first thing you learn in Coffee 101, you do not put soap anywhere near the carafe or any of the parts that touch coffee.
Nope, only use vinegar.
Citrus cleaner, vinegar, water, and baking soda. No fucking soap.
That's right. I don't even go that far. When I go to clean my own personal pot,
I just
Water.
rinse it out.
in steel wool pad.
I don't even do that. I just rinse it out with hot water.
Well,
That's like taking the seasoning off a
That's
cast
my
iron
deep
skillet,
clean.
man.
yeah. Well, that's my deep clean. Which I'm about to have to do a deep clean because that's what my coffee pot's looking like right now. So it's getting ready to get a deep clean. But for the most part, all I do on a daily basis is just rinse it out and then fill it up, pour the water into the tank at the back of the pot, and brew my coffee.
Rinse and repeat.
Exactly.
I use the French press for my coffee.
I have one of those too, and
Greetings, Joe.
There you go.
we're just going to make one cup at a time, and that's
No,
almost never.
not at all. I have one that, well, it depends on what you consider a cup. The one that I have makes a liter, and that's almost 2 cups of coffee,
Well, the only reason I only
which
use
is what I
my
limit myself to in the morning and the evening, so it's fine.
the only reason I use my French press only if I'm doing one cup at a time is it doesn't have any way of keeping the water hot, so it'll get cold. And the only cold coffee I like is the Starbucks Triple Shot Energy.
Yeah.
If the coffee ain't warm when I wake up, I don't care. I drink it all damn day long. The only hot coffee I drink is the first one in the morning if I wake up early enough. And that's a pretty big if.
Yeah.
Mom usually gets up between 7:30, 8 o'clock and starts making coffee, and I don't get up till maybe 12, noon, 1 o'clock. And 4 hours, that shit should be not warm anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, we usually wake up around
What can
10:30.
I do for you? You need to go outside? Or you want to go to bed? Then you just look at me while you
Y'all familiar with the AMT 63 Impala kit? Like customizing 3-in-1 type kit thing?
I've seen it. I don't have one, and I haven't ever built one, but I've seen the kit. Maybe
I've
even seen
seen-
an unboxing or two.
I've built a couple of them over the years, but mostly stock or kind of customized, but I've never used that funky nose and tail light and hood and all that on there.
Oh yeah.
So this time when I'm building it, I'm like, let's just go wild custom. Why not, right? I got plenty
Use
of
all them
stock
weird
versions.
parts.
Yeah. I mean, my fucking parts box are full of all these weird parts, so now it's going to add to my not weird parts drawers.
Hey.
I'll have an
Yeah,
actual
still gonna
stock 63
contribute.
Impala grill instead of this thing.
you need glasses.
I'll have some extra tail lights instead of this thing. But that's what I was working on in case anybody was wondering.
I'm still trying to go through this disaster area and get rid of these extra kits. I'm trying to put them in a crate so I can move them out of here.
Extra kits? Where the fuck you get
Yeah,
them?
I'm trying to clear a path.
Where the fuck you get extra kits from?
They're extra because they're in my way.
Oh, extra in. Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, ain't none of my kids extra. Even
Right?
even though I have like 10 or 12 copies of the 67 Chevelle Pro Street, ain't a single one of them extra.
Right?
Oh, they're extra when they're in my way.
Eh,
My Chevelles are all on the shelf in the other room.
That's
that's
only
the body
extra
part.
annoying, is all that is.
hey,
They're
Sarah, what you
distractions.
doing tonight?
They're in my view. I don't want them here while I'm working on another
Sir
project.
Phil. Greetings, brother.
I want to focus on the build for seniors tribute, and I can't do that if I got a bunch of other eye candy laying around.
Yeah, it's kind of what I'm doing with my tribute is I'm focusing just on it, and I'm building the truck portion of it first. Once I get that done, then I'm going to do the Chevelle portion.
Hey, Horton.
Get done. And then once I'm done with that, then I'll get back on everything else I have going on.
Speaking of tribute builds and Horton, freaking, he made me jealous when I seen he's got 3 fucking parts kits of the Boot Hill Express, but he's going to build them, so that's cool. That's fine.
Oh, nice.
You better build them.
Well, he's going to build them in honor for the Terry build.
Okay.
And just
Yeah,
so you know,
that's
Horton, no,
one.
I didn't watch your video. Yes, I did. Of course I did. It's a fucking show
That's
run
lying.
thumbnail. Of course I'm going to watch it.
I wouldn't mind having a copy of the Boot Hill. That's one I don't have.
Ask Phil before you get started.
Even if somebody would like just 3D print me one, I'd be happy with it. You know.
Yeah, it's actually a really good kit, and I don't remember if it was Phil the other day, Paul Hartman or whatever, that the guy that comes in the chat once in a while.
Yeah.
He was asking if it was a good kit, and I'm like, honestly, there's nothing on there that goes together bad, as long as all the body panels don't warp, and you know how to put your glass in because it goes on from the outside.
Yeah.
So you don't want any
Ass
glue smudge in
backwards.
it.
Yeah.
Well, you don't want any glue smudge on it. So other than that, the rest of it all builds up beautifully. You know.
Yeah. I may or may not ever build it, but I want it. That's a want.
Hey, Andrew.
Well, we all know any modeler that says I want a kit like that isn't a want. It's a I need it. Otherwise, I'm gonna always want it.
No, there's a difference between want and need. I don't need it. I don't need any of this shit by a fucking long shot, but I want it.
Yep.
So my details that I had custom made for my senior build will be for tomorrow.
And yes, Bill Marcy did get to go to the show today.
I placed an order on Thursday when I got paid with SDS. It's according to the
Yeah,
UPS,
Horton, I did.
it's supposed to be here Monday.
You, Andrew.
Andrew, what's up, buddy?
Yeah, I got there super late, but I got there.
Pew 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 pew.
Pew, 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 pew.
That's gonna be my way of saying hello to you from now on. Pew pew. So where you guys headed there, Andrew?
Do these go to? These go to the swamp monster, so these can go away. Who the fuck's buzzing my phone?
Good question. Ain't me.
Oh, it's nice seeing my friends that are on the other end of the state are out playing Pokemon Go. It's like, it's too cold, man, go away.
Can you say that again, Andrew?
I saw Beetlejuice.
Kind of hard to hear you. I hear the road noise.
Okay, I'll get you on the home.
We look forward to hanging with you.
See you in a little while.
See you in a little bit, Andrew.
Bye.
He's really getting to like being on here.
That's good.
Yeah.
I know how he feels.
Yeah,
I kind of enjoy being on here too.
when the younger kids get interested and find themselves a place where they feel like they belong.
Helps me remember that the hobby is not dying.
Yep. Oh, dude, if you'd have seen the junior class today, you'd be flipping shit. Some of these kids, all I can say is they fucking lost. First place in the junior competition, one of the girls won. He did was Buick. Fucking phenomenal. Makes me want to pack my shit up. Okay, she was just good.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the junior segment at last year's Space City Shootout had some really good stuff in it. And I'm looking forward to what we have in the junior section this year.
And the cool thing they do for our kids too is every kid that joins in and participates, puts a model in the show, whether they win an award or not, they still get a prize. They have a pile of model kits that they let each kid pick from.
Hell yeah. Got to keep encouraging them somehow, and that's an easy way to do it.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, hell, if I went to a show and got a participation award, I'd be happy. I'd come back.
Yeah, the club directly donates those kits to the kids.
It's a good way to do it, though, because as you know, we all get many of them. So donating a few to a show like that for that purpose, hell yeah, I'd do it. I'd probably even let a few go that I wouldn't normally let go.
Yeah, I didn't have much time to talk to anybody. I got there, it was after 1 o'clock, and they already had the tables roped off for judging, and I just hit the floor running with my wallet. I ended up getting the Farrah Fawcett vet finally. The one dealer that had it, he had it like 3 or 4 years ago. He had it marked at like $150.
Woo.
I got it for $50.
Hell yeah.
It's a
Hey,
the color
Gary.
paint is off the box, but the kit is bagged.
How you doing tonight, brother?
Yeah, there was a lot of good stuff. Some of the vendors were actually pretty cleaned out from last November. They haven't done much of a restock. I'm hoping to make it to the one in November this
I see
year.
everything, Gary. I'm
Who
almost
else
all
comes
knowing.
down?
Almost.
They actually sold all the vendor tables this time.
That's good.
It's another thing. With,
Exactly, Kevin. Two chances a year to do that, and yeah, I save up all year for it. Believe me, I take a nice chunk with me that's set aside intentionally for my bad habit.
Yeah.
It's no longer a hobby; it's a bad habit.
oh, trust me, I already know. I spend way too much on this hobby as is.
2 rooms
That's
in
one
a
of the things
house
that I like
and
about
temperature
shows.
controlled storage. Let's talk about too much money.
That's one of the things that I like about the shows is the fact that the vendors there generally are selling their kits for a greatly reduced price compared to what you can get them at your local brick and mortar, Hobby Lobby,
Sometimes,
Michael.
sometimes, because a lot of these people that we have that come through here do actually have brick and mortar stores, or at least still have some presence of a store, even if it's only online.
Yeah,
Or vending is all they do, and it's their livelihood.
yeah,
Yep.
So it's literally a store on wheels, and they have mostly new product available. It's we have a very eclectic group of people when it comes to that. We also have a lot of people who just have toys. We have a
mhm,
couple dealers that do like the Hot Wheels and the Matchbox and
Die
old school
cast.
toys, die cast, yeah, board games, action figures. We even had a comic book vendor in there this time. Brand new dealer. It was like a
Hey,
comics and movie collectibles table. He had a lot of great stuff.
yeah.
That's not what I come there for, but if I happen to have found something that I would mind having in my collection of miscellaneous shit, I would have bought it. I flipped through his
Right.
stuff. He had some stuff, but nothing I was interested in. I moseyed through and kept on going.
Come on, do it.
That's like with me. I mean, I enjoy going to my local brick and mortar store, which is like I say, it's like a 5 minute walk from where I live, and I enjoy
Mine are like 10 minutes away either side, so yeah.
and I enjoy supporting them because even though they are a little more expensive than other outlets that I could go to and shop, the fact that they are a brick and mortar and hobby is all they do between the trains and automotive and stuff like that. That's all they do. And the fact that they're also the longest running brick and mortar shop of that nature in the state of Texas,
Hmm.
you know, I like doing my part just to see them stay in business.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I love my brick and mortar. My John and Melissa, I will buy from them until they don't own the business anymore. That's a
Yeah,
given, and I don't care how much extra I gotta pay to keep a roof on their head, food over the table. That's
exactly.
their family.
And that's exactly how it is with G&G Models is it is a family owned, operated, run shop. Pretty much everybody that works there is either the it was the parents that had opened the shop. Well, actually now it's the grandparents that had opened the shop. The parents work there, the kids work there, the in-laws work there, you
Yeah,
know.
multi generational. You don't see a lot of that anywhere anymore. I've seen so many places disappear with the ones that are my age. They sell it off when mom and pop are gone, and it's like,
Hmm.
really? What is wrong with you?
Yeah.
That's a lucrative business and you're just tossing it, you know? I don't get it. Come on up, Serge. Let's see what you got, dude.
Yeah, you can always come in. You're always welcome. Anytime I got a stream open, you're welcome to come in.
That's right, Britta. You are definitely part of the no, it's not so much that you're part of the crew, you're part of the family. You all are.
This is the island of misfit toys.
That's how I'm here.
But yeah, good deals, Mike. Yeah, if you get there later and you hang out to the end, most of them don't want to carry all that shit home, so you can talk them down on something. I actually picked up a really cool kit that I haven't seen in a long time. It's a limited edition Lindbergh kit called the Love Buggy. It's 1/12 scale. Basically tons of moving parts, and it also has a motor that's ran by D batteries. I don't know. I want to build this, but it's number 24 of 5,000, and it's got the original cellophane on it. So I don't know. I have another one of these larger kits. It's another buggy style car with a motor in it. One of these years, I'll probably bust them open.
And speaking of
I don't know. I don't want to, but I don't know.
speaking of recent kitted stash editions, I picked this up at
Oh yeah, I got the Farrah Fawcett's Corvette for $50. I've
yeah.
been looking at it for 3 or 4 years. That's what it was, Mike. And the guy had it marked at $150 initially. I looked at it today, and I looked at him, and I'm like, "Do you really want to sell this thing?" He goes, "Yeah." I'm like, "50?" He goes, "Done."
Nice. But yeah, like I say, the other day I picked up this one at my area Ollie's,
I got that one.
$13.
Didn't you
That
hear
was
Don
fun.
say stay out of Ollie's?
No, we didn't. We don't know how to do that.
The a la carte
Ooh,
at Ollie's for $13.
ain't that the
That's the newest issue.
That's the
Ed
repop,
Ross
yeah.
vehicle?
George Barris.
Okay.
George Barris.
Barris.
Designed and built by George Barris.
Okay.
Actually, George Barris isn't the one who did a lot of the designs for the stuff he built. Come to
Yeah.
find out, Tom Daniels designed the Munsters coach and many others, but
Mhm.
Barris got credit because he built the real one.
Hey, Jess. Yeah,
And didn't mention
was
that
the
Tom Daniels
that
did
was
the
the
design
difference.
for it.
Yeah, the designing and the scale model originals were built by one, and then the real one-to-ones were built by the other.
Well,
And
the other
credit
issue
falls
they
on
had,
the one-to-ones, which is wrong.
the
Not
other
their fault.
issue they had though was Tom Daniels was already signed to Monogram, whereas Barris was signed to AMT.
Yeah.
So to keep any of this
Mhm.
cross competition issue, Barris didn't say anything about Tom. But that
Right.
didn't stop him from going to Tom to make the designs.
Hey, Jess. Yeah, they kind of kept each other working in a way.
I
I
mean, hell
bet
yeah,
y'all-
you're in the car world. Why not? You know?
Yeah, it's just like all the oldies in Hollywood. They kept each other working.
Basically, yeah.
Mhm.
I bet y'all can't tell where that one came from.
Right?
Yeah, that's
I wish we had it.
I like
Ollie's.
that one.
that looks like an Ollie's price sticker to me.
No, it's
Yeah.
a 5 and dime.
Oh, it is.
Close
Think
one
about
eye
it.
and look a little harder, and it'll come right on through.
Either that or it's a Hobby Lobby.
Just think about it this way.
Not
He
a Hobby
probably needs
Lobby.
to lay off the Red Bulls, but he's still going to wake up an asshole tomorrow with or without the Red Bull.
I just wish our town would have never got rid of the Ben Franklin. That's where they used
You
to have
just
a huge
look at him like
freaking
he's
model.
got the plague
my-
and walk around him.
My son went to an Ollie's up where he's at, and it's I don't know, about an hour, maybe an hour and a half to Enterprise, Alabama. And it's funny how all these Ollies are getting different stuff in, and they're not all the same.
No, yeah.
That's
It's
like
funny 'cause
they had
people
that,
travel to the other stores. They do it up here too.
Yeah, they had that. Y'all remember? And I've looked at them on eBay, and I told him if he got time to go back, he's got to go back next week to the doctor in Enterprise. They have that. I don't know if it's a record setter that y'all remember that snowmobile sled that was made with the big
The
motor
drag
in it.
sled, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The drag sled. They
Yeah.
had that. They had that in there too.
Well, it's like here in Houston, the general Houston area, there's 3 ollies. There's the one I go to out in Cypress, and then there's one out in Katy, and then there's one down in Alvin. And they're all 3 kind of on the outskirts, but the Cypress one is the one that's closest to me, so that's the one I'll generally go to. And buddy of mine, he's been in here in the chats a couple of times. I need my JT. His channel is I Need My Garage Time.
Yep.
Kind of bounces between the Alvin and the Katy stores, and they all 3 have different model kit inventories from one another.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I've
very
noticed that.
common in retail. They do that in retail on purpose to get people to travel to other stores.
yep.
Okay, Serge, what's your problem, dude? Other than the obvious one.
Are you muted?
He's muted, and I think he might be
Yeah.
talking to his wife,
Girlfriend.
girlfriend, wife, significant other living
There
with
you
him.
go.
Might not be so significant after this morning or yesterday.
Wait a minute. Let's rephrase all that. The boss.
There you
No.
go.
Okay.
No,
The boss.
that's not how that works.
No, Britta, ain't nobody running away if you were to jump in.
No, she was talking to Jess.
Ah,
She's got a boss that's being a dick.
sorry to hear that, Jess.
Yeah, I would just try to avoid them and just limit your answers to yes and no. What I would do.
No, like I said, I just look at
Get
it down my
mad at the
nose and walk away.
And just avoid them as much as possible.
I'm back, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about that.
That's all right. You
right.
said you got
I'll
an
just-
issue you need to have looked at. What's going on?
Okay, my issue. I bought this a long time ago. This was in my stash. My El Camino, 86 El Camino. If I could get the thing adjusted here.
AMT kit. Yep.
Dang, where's the hold on. I'm trying to flip this camera so you guys can see.
Choo Choo's Customs. And technically, it's not an 86 El Camino. Let's just use that nose.
If it shows. Come on, okay, this one.
Yep.
Mhm.
My only problem is I made a boo boo and had the what do you call it? The iron something. I can't think of it right now. The hot iron, and then no, it got so hot, and I had this problem.
That's going to take a lot of filler, or you can just make it something that got nailed in a drive-by. Wow.
My suggestion for fixing that would be to take a Dremel with a saw blade on it, cut a rectangle, take a piece of like garage sale sign behind it, and then another piece to
Mhm.
fill it, and then Bondo smooth it out.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
that's lit. I mean, unless you got another like door panel that you can cut a piece out and put in there that has the same curve to fit, and then you're still gonna have a gap. You fill the gap, you
Right.
Bondo smooth it, you're good to go.
Yeah.
As far as
Okay.
like where the window seal ledge is, fill it, sand it smooth. I mean, that's what you're
Right.
gonna end up having to do there.
Yeah,
Just
another
like all the doing the real shop, real body shop.
is
Cut
if
the
you
bad
get
out.
another,
Yep. You just became, not only did you become a model builder, you're now a body shop worker.
yep,
Yeah.
possibility is either
And the
get
bad thing
another.
about it is I went to school for that too, for owl shop.
Look,
For
we all run across it. Just like this 55, I've been working on this old Badman, the new release of the Badman, that
Yeah.
2-in-1.
uh-huh.
And I've had to sand the quarter down on it to get the humps out of it that the styrene buildup.
Okay.
And another possibility to do is get another Elky kit, get another copy of that kit, or at least an AMT Elky of that year. Or since that Elky has the Monte Carlo front end, the Monte Carlo kit of that year, and then you can cut that door panel out. Like if you were going to make it to where it opens, do the same thing with the extra kit, and then replace door panels. Like say you get a body only or a glue bomb or something where the rest of the kit it's basically not buildable, but at least that passenger door panel is good. You can cut the door panels out and swap door panels.
You want to hear something
Okay.
encouraging? Not.
Mm-hmm.
It was in the last 3 years, maybe. AMT MPC released the El Camino. It's the same exact body with a different nose. So you can find an easily replaceable body for that. Point blank. It's not going to be that hard to find a replacement, but I would start. Seems finding a replacement body is not impossible. In fact, it's highly possible. Your best bet is to cut that out and use your body working skills to make it work.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't get to use hammer and dolly,
Or a big
you
rust hole.
still get to do the
Right.
exact same thing you would if you were welding in a patch pad.
Yeah.
Right.
And if you do screw it up, then you go get yourself another body.
Okay. Because my thing was too. I kept thinking. Go ahead.
Or you just cut the door out entirely and make it look like somebody bought the door off the car and it don't have one.
Yeah.
I mean, when you had asked the question a while back, a couple weeks ago, what is a dead kit? There is no dead kit. It just changes its direction of where it can go.
Exactly.
Right.
And one possibility for finding a donor body to get the door panel out would be, say, eBay. Look on eBay for similar kits that are in bad condition, like a rebuilder or something.
Even if you found one that was blown up by a firecracker, but there was a 1-inch long piece of the side of that car, any length of it, you're good to go to patch it with. But honestly, it's not that big of a deal to fix. Now, if it was on the ledge of the front fender or a front corner or somewhere where there's an extra body line or a contour, that's a super smooth, flat surface we're working on, dude. You should have no problem fixing that.
Is that an MPC?
Yeah.
No,
AMT.
AMT. Yeah.
AMT Ertl.
Yeah, it's the same one the MPC just came out with, the silver and black on the bottle. Same exact.
Yeah.
Different nose.
They've got a place called hobbymodels.com's got the new version 86 SS El Camino for $23.99.
I built that kit. The front clip is a little finicky,
then
but
he
it's a good
ends
kit.
Then he ends up with a whole nother kit, and this one is still a whole other kit with the same problem. You know? So we're trying to help him fix what he has, so he don't have to buy another kit. And
this is a excellent opportunity to venture into weathering and rusting up a car.
Exactly.
Either that or see if you can get the information to AMT and send them an email and see if they'll send you another body.
Yep, that's what they did when I bought a couple kits from Walmart. One was missing tires and one was missing glass, and they had it to me within that
Honestly,
week.
the instruction sheet does have the address, and it's possible to do that. And if you send a picture along with an email, they would be like, all right, yeah, I don't know if that's our fault or yours, but that's bad enough. We'll send you the part.
Yep.
Then you're back to
you're better
a
off
brand new
calling
kit.
round 2. They have a phone number right
Round
on Google
2?
you can look up. They have a phone number right on Google. You can look up. That's what I used.
Okay.
When I bought them kits without the glass or the tires from Walmart, and
Mhm.
within that same week,
Okay.
they were to me.
I remember back in the day with Revell and Monogram, they had the 800 number. You can call them, tell them what you lost, what you needed, and they'd send it out within 3-4 days.
Yep.
No questions asked, just what's the part number? Well, it's the body. It's part number 1. Okay, gotcha. You know? So be sure to have your instruction sheet handy in case they ask what part number.
Yeah, that would be one of the first things that I would try would be to try to get a hold to them and see if they'll send you another one. If they do, you don't have to worry about that body.
And
I would
then
try and fix it anyway.
But I
Just
mean,
with
it is fixable.
Well, that's
Absolutely.
the thing. If he was to get a replacement body, that body then becomes the test mule for all the fun you can have.
That's right.
Okay.
It'd be your paint test body. Anything you need to do, you can test on that body.
If you want to practice cutting out the door panel to where you can be able to hinge it and make it open, that
actually, Serge, you want to do me a personal favor? When you contact them, ask them if you can get an extra windshield for it too, because I have one of those that's fully built, ready to go. It's all done. I just need the window.
You need a windshield, right?
Yeah. Well, it's a one-piece front rear window piece, but I'm kidding. But I could use one because I was like, well, I don't have the window, but I'm like, I want to build it, so I built it, start to finish. Everything's done. It just don't have no window. You know.
See, my thing was
the interior in it, so at any point I can just slide one in there.
Let me turn the light on. I built that kit. Let me pull it up.
Okay.
It's a good kit.
Yeah, because
I can tell you, I've got that kit, but I can't tell you exactly where it's at.
It's a really,
my thing is with
really good kit. Go ahead, Serge. Sorry.
Oh, go ahead. No, because what I was going to do was with this one, when that happened, I was so mad because I was going to do a top secret build on this one, and I called it El Camaro. And El Camaro, it sounds like I'm trying to say Camaro. And the thing was, I had this planned up since 2008, and I was going to cut all this. I was going to cut this off, cut the front bump, front and everything else. Until this happened, I got mad and got pissed.
And I was
going to take the
if you're going to cut the front fenders off to put a different clip on it, you have the body filler right there on top of the fender.
Okay.
In fact, you have 2 of them, one on each side.
Right. See, but my thing is too, I'm not sure if the front fender be wider. If I put, the Camaro fender be wider for that, and the door, I don't know. And I was hoping to keep these doors until that happened. I was like, shit, crap, and stuff like that. So I'm like, man, because I had I had another El Camino, but I lost the body to that one, and I'm kind of pissed off to that one too. It was an older El Camino. It was like an 80, not 80, but it was like a 50, 59.
Probably a 65.
Yeah.
It's got the flat front end on.
Or 56. Yeah.
Well, I can tell you right now, if you want to know if that other nose will fit on there, you got to learn how to use a tape measure.
That's true. I'll probably have to do that and figure out how to shrink it.
Well, I mean, what you got right there in front of you is a test body. So if you can get you another one from AMT or round 2, you can actually use that body you have there to try to cut the nose off of it and do your little top secret thing you was going to do and make it work before you cut into the other body.
Yep.
Another thing you might want to learn is one of these guys.
Yep. Micrometer.
Very, very, very handy. I've been
this thing's got guts all over.
Pickup, stretching the chassis.
Right.
This one was a
and my other questions are.
Hang on.
Let me see if I go back. Yeah, I see. Ooh, my other
I
one.
still
I'm
got
gonna
exactly.
show you this in a minute. Okay.
And then I shoved a
Oh yeah, I
giant
like that one.
396 in this sucker.
Nice.
This was a rebuilder. It was white with some goofy rims from like when I first started modeling, and it fell off the shelf, and it
Oh
kind of
man.
gave me an excuse to repaint it. And I was able to. I had never used the original decals, so I was able to put all them on there.
Yes, Kevin.
Soldering, tubing, exhaust.
Chattanooga Choo Choo
My
Custom.
girlfriend's aunt once said. My girlfriend aunt wants your Nova in the background.
That's fine. We don't mind being in background. It ain't the first
Yeah,
time.
that's just. It's a really good kit, but if you're going to change the front clip, then this won't matter. But the front clip to get on this thing is finicky.
What on
Like,
that?
really
No,
bad.
it ain't. No, it ain't.
For me, it was just because I'm standing holding it with 3 fingers trying to get it to stay. I didn't have the right glue either, so
The easiest way to make it simple is to put a little flat stock behind the fender, so when the nose
that's my most
goes
recent
on,
build.
it has to stay flush with the outside.
I guess I'll show you all this Mustang, but don't tell nobody. It's a secret project for a group. So shh. That's kind of driving me crazy not showing anybody this. I like this Mustang.
Not a secret anymore.
Nope.
It's all right. I'm really proud of it, and it was kind of driving me crazy having it sit here and nobody see it.
You could have kept the "it's for a build" secret and just showed us, and nobody would have known it was for that.
Shh, be quiet.
Too late.
Everybody quiet. Okay. My knees. Yeah.
Boy, you too damn young to be complaining about your knees.
Job before I had this one, I basically spent 3 years on my knees doing
You might want to finish that sentence
Yeah, you
Yeah.
with less gas. because
Kind of finish it pretty quickly, okay?
Yeah.
quickly with no gaps between the words because
That's
I have
right.
bad editing skills.
no,
or something like that.
I
Yeah,
did
just
like
let it hang out.
landscaping yard work before this, so I was always on my knees doing something. Hang on now.
Not much better, but a little bit.
Big hole you're digging there.
Right.
So I can get down and do shit, but fucking if I'm down there too long, I'm gonna have to stand up for a second.
You're venturing into the $20 is $20 realm there.
Okay.
Yep.
Hey, Serge.
Certainly covered up, get my game going.
Oh, he's not in here anymore, is he? Let's see how
I
that goes.
think he vanished.
Yeah, we must have fell out.
My knees joke scared him away.
Yeah. Especially when you paused after you said you was on your knees.
For 3 hours.
Would you guys like to see the El Camino I did that doesn't have a
3
windshield?
years.
Throw it up there.
Hours, 3 years, asshole.
I took the 86 Monte Carlo SS. This is the original chassis, and this is the Monte Carlo chassis. This is the under hood of the Monte Carlo, and this is the AMT body, right? And I made that whole thing fit up underneath in there.
Nice.
And I modified the chassis. Obviously, this went back a little too far. I should have cut it behind there and moved that forward, but whatever. It ended up working out right.
Yeah.
I had a big hole in the hood, so I found a nice 90s Camaro. Swap that hood in there.
Teardrop.
Yep. And then I got the light white. It's not pure white. It's an off-whitish color. And we got the decent stance up on there.
Looks good.
Oh, yeah.
And as you can see, it's got a little bit of, you can see around the edge where the hood scoop went on there, but you can see why it needs a window, right?
Yeah, it looks good. Needs one.
But like, yeah, here you can see just how wide I stretched the frame. Just that far. But like, I got a little billboard or a diving board right here to reach the transmission. That's why I said this should have been forward and cut back here. But whatever. This is the Monte Carlo chassis, not an El Camino. So, but that's what it looks like under the hood when it was done. Way better
Oh,
than
it's
just
good.
the MPC. But that's why it needs a windshield. And then, of course, I got my green one. Got a blue
Well, dude,
one.
why don't you just get with round two, and even if they charge you
Ooh,
$1
I like
for a
that.
windshield, man.
They won't
Well, I mean,
charge you.
I could go and get one, but obviously, with as many kits and stuff as I have, I just build for fun. I don't really stress too much. But
I know, but I'm just saying, if you need the windshield, man, just call them and see what they tell you.
right,
I mean, I would imagine, they look. It ain't like they ain't got 1,000 of them coming down the line.
right. You want to know what's cool about this one? There ain't no motor up here. It's in the back.
Oh yeah.
Got a little hole in the tonneau cover. Can tub that sucker out.
That would be a wheel stander right there, then.
Oh yeah. It's a little long in the back for wheel stands, but it would definitely carry them.
Yep.
I love El
Yeah.
Caminos, so
That
I need to
was
get up
an
another one.
old
Yeah.
build from like the late 80s, early 90s, somewhere around in there
I'm
when
still
I did the black
mad
one.
at my friend Mike for selling his. He had a really nice.
But I
This dude
do like
lives
the way
down the
the
road
red
from me
one
with one I
turned
keep
out.
trying to
think it
buy.
was pretty cool.
Is that the one guy you keep going and visiting every once in a while?
Nah, that's my buddy's dad. It's a 70 Monte Carlo SS car. He backed into a pole with it.
And it's just
It's-
sitting in the yard.
He pushed it into the yard and hasn't touched it in probably about 5 years. Every time I go over there, he's like, "I'll get to it one day." I'm like, "Man, just sell it to me."
Right?
Sitting there rotting, dude.
Oh, it was a perfect car before I did that. Now it's got a rust hole in the fender, and it's kind of getting.
Rotten to the ground. Mother Nature's gonna take all our metal back.
It's an original paint numbers matching Monte Carlo too.
Ooh.
SS Monte Carlo too. So it's got the 454 in it.
He's an idiot.
Dude, I went there. I've driven to his house before with cash in hand, and he wouldn't sell it. He's like, "No, one of these days I'm gonna give it to my son," and his son wants nothing to do with the fucking car.
But by the time he gives it to him, there ain't gonna be nothing there.
Right?
His son said, like, fully to me, admitted to me one day, when I get the car, I'm gonna pull the motor out of it and put it in my S10. I'm like, no.
Oh
If you
my
do
God,
that, I
what a
think I will
fool.
actually just beat the hell out of you.
Right?
It's a
Well, what you
numbers
do is you
matching
take your phone, you put it on record, you talk to the son and ask him what he would do with it. And when he
Yeah,
says he'd
and then
pull
take
the
that
motor,
recording to dad. Yep.
damn straight, and then say, "Now sell me that fucking car."
Right? Sell it
You
to
want to
me.
see
and I'll
somebody
keep
do it? You want an opportunity to maybe, I don't know, come and drive it?
Yeah, you want to see this thing
If I
back
was
on the
with him
road, or
in
you
it,
want to
he
just
wouldn't
see
be
it
on
go
the
straight to the
freeway,
front?
but I'd let him drive it in town. Yeah.
Hey,
70 Monties mean a little bit
That's
for my dad, especially because my dad's first car was a 70 Monty.
It's a shame to see cars rot like that.
It was originally my
Somebody that
aunt's
wants to
car,
save it.
and my dad gave her $750 for it.
I have his wings.
Those are all the someday projects that never get did.
Never happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would definitely record the son asking.
Hell
Put
yeah,
a recorder
Bubba.
on. Ask the son what he's going to be doing with the car when he finally gets it, and then take that to the dad and say, "All right, look, this is what your boy's wanting to do with the car. You sell it to me. It's going to stay as is. Just get repaired, get restored, and then driven. Which would you rather?"
Yeah.
Yeah, basically now is my money good enough.
Mm-hmm.
I know what I'd rather. If I had something like that I just didn't have the time or whatever to get to it to restore it and get it back on the road, and I had a son that I was thinking about giving it to, and the son wasn't going to do nothing but desecrate it by taking the engine out and putting it in an S10. No, I'm gonna sell it to someone who's interested in it for what it
Yeah,
is.
and that kid needs to be castrated.
Yeah.
You need that stupidity breeding.
Right?
I'll be right back.
We'll be left front. But yeah, that's just original paint, numbers matching, and it's
Only original ones.
Oof.
Yeah.
Nice. I ain't even seen it, and I want it.
That's
Y'all
when
know what I mean?
That's when you
Mhm.
know there's an iconic collector sitting there going, home. You know? That'd be like finding a Ferrari GT250 sitting out in the woods, and guys like, yeah, I'll get to it someday. I ain't selling it. And then all of a sudden he dies, and it goes in the estate auction for 150 grand. You know,
Yeah.
fucking $1 million car sitting there, dude. What the
Yeah.
fuck,
Or
dude?
or a little bit closer to home on that, an all original numbers matching Yanko Camaro. Sitting
Yeah.
in the field somewhere.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Right. And a low mileage one at that. You
Been
know.
approached by 50 people, still won't sell it,
then
dies,
the old
and
man
never
croaks.
gets a penny for it.
Yeah.
And then the kids are like, oh, we got to clean the shit out of the yard. We're selling the property. And it
Yeah.
goes to a crusher.
Yeah.
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 Fuck that.
Considering as there wasn't but 200 of the 69 Yanko made. Don Yanko only built 269 Camaros.
Mhm.
And to send a low mileage, all original numbers matching to the crusher? Oh, that's ass whipping time. I'm sorry.
But you do know when the junkyard gets it, they won't crush it.
No,
They'll take it to the junkyard and they'll set it to the side and turn around and sell it.
No, they'll take it
They'll
home and
take
put it in their own private collection
Mhm.
that they will never get to.
yeah, they'll take it and they'll
There's
restore
a
it. And then they'll
there's
take HMs and sell it for $1 million or better.
there's a guy that's got a '63 split window Corvette sitting in a cow pasture about 40 miles north of where I'm at. He won't sell it, and it's just rotting into the ground.
Oh, that is a crime.
It should be.
One of the rarest Corvettes that was ever made.
Yeah. And the fact that he's allowing it to just sit there and rot like that is a crime.
Well, the thing is that, and it's a sentimental thing because his son actually bought the car, and I think his son is actually dead. So, but I mean, I get it, you know.
Well,
If it's a Corvette,
I understand
then
that.
that's the song Private Malone.
But
Yeah. I
In
mean,
that
you would think that he would at least get it out of the field and put it in a barn or something to keep it from rotting it down.
you know, if I were in that situation where I had a super ultra rare car that had belonged to my kid and then my kid died, I'm not going to let that car rot away.
Mm-mm.
I'm going to take it and get it restored and get it back to like new condition. And then I'm going to keep it in like my house garage where I can somewhat climate control the place and keep that car in excellent condition. Maybe a bit of a trailer queen going to shows and whatnot with her, but better that than risk getting a fender bender.
On the bright side, it might not happen inevitably as soon as we would like, but at least 60 to 75% of the classic collectible cars, if and when found, can and will be restored by somebody.
True.
At some point, even though a lot of those might be like DD Speed Shop. It was a piece of shit run over. We replaced all the quarter panels. We got it running. It's on the street. It might look like shit. It might be a piece of shit, but it's on the street.
Exactly.
Which is a million times better Been sitting next to the old oak tree, you know, having trees grow up through his bumpers and shit.
Yeah.
But that's just like I bought two Honda motorcycles in the '60s, like late '60s, like really late '60s, and only paid less than $1,000, like couple about $400 for two of them. And right now they're in my store. I'm trying to get them up and
I
running.
almost thought you were muted. You're super hard to hear.
Yeah.
You guys hear me?
Yep.
Yeah,
There we
now
go.
we can.
Now we can.
Okay.
You get your
Oh, it's
finger off the
because of the.
microphone?
Oh no, I probably covered the microphone like a dummy and
That's what it
stuff.
sounded
No,
like.
'cause-
It happens.
and no, I have bought both of these motorcycles for $400 package deal, and I'm already trying to buy parts for it. And now I went back this past weekend after I was getting these models here. I'm trying to look for this one and that one and stuff. And I'm checking the wire, which I'm already going to replace the wire in both of those um, motorcycles, because I was going to turn one of them into an original one, and I was going to do a modified one as like a next step gen with those. And the way the market value on those now, they kind of like the best, but now since they got the newer motorcycles for them, now the value goes up. Now another thing is too, and I believe last week when you guys was on, and I wasn't on the live last week, or I wasn't in the chat. I was in the middle of a deal of buying what is that 60, 69 or 70 Honda CT90, and got less for where it was. So now I got called the transport to have it shipped here, and I was gonna give it to my girlfriend as an anniversary gift for next year and whatnot. I was gonna paint it in pink or the same color as Grogu, the color of Grogu or whatever, the little baby Yoda. I was gonna do
She don't
that.
let you go to a model show and you're going to give her a whole freaking motorbike? No offense, but fuck that.
Yeah, so, but yeah, I had that all planned out. So, but yeah, and
Just let your wife know that she ain't ever going to live that down in this crowd.
Oh, don't worry. Don't worry. I was gonna tell her, like, I got this same thing in your color, or that, pea green, baby Yoda color and everything, so you could start off riding a motorcycle or whatnot and everything. But she don't know what I'm trying to do with it. I know I'm buying parts for it, but that thing's gonna be up in value already as we speak and stuff. But I just figured she would have something nice and classic. But the way she's been acting, I don't know. It's
I
enough
think
to
value
make me
and
some money.
cost of something is subjective. I mean, you can put $10,000 into it and hope to get 15 grand out of it, but it comes down to the buyer. If nobody's willing to pay that price, you ain't getting it.
Right. But the way I did it was I got keeping next to nothing. Put it this way, I got it for $10.
Well, I'm just trying to say, the value, like dude's Monte Carlo or even some freaking classic sitting in the junkyard. Somebody wants X amount of money for it. It's not what the seller wants for it. It's what the buyers are willing to pay that determines the value of what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody dead set on needing that specific car is willing to pay way more than it's freaking worth to satisfy their needs. That to me doesn't set the value of it for the next guy saying, "Oh, I can sell mine for that." No, this dude just sold it to an idiot who overpaid for it. That's why I don't like eBay as a price guy. To me, it's not a price guy. Just because they can raise the prices up so much, and now everybody thinks that's what they're worth, and they try selling them for that. Yeah, no, that shit don't fly by me.
Mm-hmm.
That's why. That's
especially
why
if it's got
I
a Harley sticker.
overspend on seeing things. So, but yeah, well, yeah, that's why I was trying not to overspend on anything and stuff. I'm been trying to
Your finger off the
do as
microphone.
much as I could. That's why I'm trying to get back into the
Only
market.
thing I buy off eBay is Jay's resin rims,
Oh,
really. Because
there we
Jay's
go.
is a
Can you
good
guys hear
price.
me now?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
why I
man, you're good.
try. Yeah, that's why I try to buy what I could buy. Okay, but yeah, and going back to you guys, what you guys were saying about the cars and stuff, that neighbors. It's this one place I went by one time, and this guy is making his what is it, Charger? I want to say uh a AT or TA Charger sitting in the lot in the one of those boat yachts or boat like a store shot, and
Gotcha.
it's like I asked the owner, uh I asked the people who own the who store the cars and the boats and stuff like that. It's like, well, the guy bought the car and everything else on it, but he just wanted they're rotten. I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm like, that car just sitting there rotten, and I know it's a '60s or '70s Charger. I'm like, why he letting that thing go rotten? 'Cause you know what? He burned off just selling it and stuff like that. That's just like my buddy of mine before we have fallen out because I ain't seen him in a while. His his granddad or grandfather passed away a long time ago, and the last time he was working on his Mustang, he had the hood open. It was like when you walk in his garage, it was a time capsule. And to this day, he still got the car with the hood open. It's collecting dust, and that thing was badass. It's got red stripes at the bottom, and that thing was black and red stripes. Interior's all red, and he's running that rot in the garage and stuff. I'm like, what's up with all these people letting all these vehicles rot? I said, just if you ain't gonna work on it and stuff, just sell it. Let it be somebody else's, treasure or thing. I just don't get it because I'm still trying to look for my mother's car. I'm still trying to look for my mother's car she used to have back in the day, and that's how I got hooked on Mustangs ever since then. Because she used to have a Mustang too with white stripes and everything. It was like a red. I want to say like a blood orange red, and even though it had a funny hatch and everything on it and stuff, man, I would do just about anything just to get that car right now, just to look for it and stuff. And I just can't find it somehow. But yeah, my other question is how I go about looking for that model I was showing you guys, like this one.
Nice. Not not a big fan of blue ovals, but nice.
Yeah, it is just when I bought that, it just had the car itself. It just had no ski. What do you call it? Skis and the trailer. It just got the Mustang there.
Yeah.
There's the Fox body in there, and that's all it is in that one. So, but also another question about this Penske Indy car with that one. And I was trying to find out what yellow should I use for that one. Because I was trying to find the exact same color for that one.
Uh, that's a good question. I don't know.
The uh,
Should is it got the has it got the instructions in it? Surge, does it have the
Yeah, it's got
instructions
the
in it?
instructions in it. Yeah.
Should tell you what the body color is.
that
Okay.
and Hobby Nut Models, the paints
Uh-huh.
that they sell, the guy that creates those paints has a listing of which part number bottle of paint to use for which automotive sports vehicles. They have NASCAR, NHRA,
Okay.
Formula One, all that. And you can look up
Okay.
who the car and its sponsor and everything and its year, and then go to their little site and you can see it'll tell you exactly what part number of the paint to buy to paint that the proper color. All right, Marcy.
Okay.
You have a good night, sweetheart.
See you, Marmar.
And Munchkin,
Good night, Marcy.
I only have the one grandkid, and he'll be 1 on the 12th. But otherwise, I know how you feel.
Okay. See, my other question is because I remember seeing this car. I think what year was that? Was it no? Could be 87 or 88. If I seen that the last time I seen that when he was driving it, and I remember Roger Penske was with him, and that car was going so fast on that track that day. Oh, because I know the front part was chromed, but my thing was I was not sure if it was gonna be a good idea to cut the molding I can't even say it, the molding of the suspension off of the car. That looks nice, Terry. I like that one.
That's a Mac tool.
Man.
But I mean, I've got a couple of different ones.
Mm-hmm.
But this one's still in cellophane. It ain't never been opened up, so it's a Buick.
Now my other thing.
Buick Lola.
Okay. Now, will you if you was to do that model, will you cut the molding and put actual steel suspension on it, or you just keep it the way it is?
No, I just build it like it is out of the box.
Okay. Cause that's what I was thinking with this one.
That Mustang was your mom had is a 2+2.
Yes.
All right, y'all. Nicotine time. I shall return shortly.
All right, man.
Okay.
I don't have.
It was a 2+2.
I just got rid of all of my
And
damn.
I remember.
2+2.
Okay. Cause I remember she used to have a 2+2. It was a sleeper, and I remember they used to have an option on her wheels were like she had on hers, and then she had Mickey Thompson tires.
Well, this ain't a regular car, but
my dad. Yep.
that's a 2+2, but that's
That
the
looks
firefighter.
nice.
That is a pro stock car.
Okay. Man. And with that kit, that would have more option wheels and stuff in it, right?
I doubt it. It's probably gonna just have the one set of wheels in it because, like I say, it's a pro stock.
Okay.
And I just sent two 2+2s to Dwayne at Dozier Models.
Who's that?
That was regular. They were regular street cars. One of them was an actual 2+2 Cobra, which was the only year that they did a Cobra in the 2+2.
Right. Oh wow.
I have a lot of stuff, brother. That's all I can tell you. The guys on the train will tell you I've got a lot of stuff as far as different kind of kit stuff. I just know that that's the only 2+2 that I've got left is those there.
Okay.
I have 67.
Yeah, I'm almost done with my with that 67 because the only thing is how I was telling you guys, my problem was with the issue with the lightning, and every time I would go fix a part, glue a part, whatever and stuff like that. I'm not gonna use that glue no more. I've been using. I was trying to get that what do you call that? Tamaya quick set. Yep, I'm getting that part tomorrow or whatnot. Cause I got to a point where every time my model came out nice and decent, and I'm getting ready to put together or whatnot, for some reason I had a little bit of glue I was trying to put on there, and the paint was like the AC glue ate up my paint so bad. I'm like, damn it! I just got to painting this car, getting it perfect the way I want it. So and now I got rescuffed the back of the lighting because now I gotta buy let me see, I gotta buy glue, some more glue, and I gotta get some of the what do you call that stuff we use for old stickers.
Microsoft.
Um, yes, Microsoft.
Yeah,
So
Microsoft.
yeah,
Like,
now because now I got to a point where my cars are done. I probably got almost two models done and stuff. And with the
yes, Mike.
68,
Yes, Mike. He's got
uh,
room for a couple more.
my yeah, because with my 68, my only problem is because the tires off the what's it? No, the GT 500 wheels will be perfect for my 67 Mustang. But I would have to make a modification. But the thing is, if I took those wheels off, oh, I'm looking at the rims and it needs the other rims on there. I don't know if I should just go back to my 67's wheels for now until I go and look for it'd be my first time getting a resin. Think about getting a resin wheel. I'm not sure what you guys would think about
So
I'd
my,
say
that with the resin wheel for that
glue
model
your.
kit.
I would say do not glue your stock set on there, so that you can always pull them off. Chances are they'll fall off on their own once in a while. No big
Uh
deal.
huh.
Just set it back on there, glued.
Right.
And then if you get a nice set that you want to swap onto it,
Mhm.
you're probably gonna have to do some modifying and customizing anyway. So most people they do all the modifying and customizing during the build, not after the build. you know,
Mhm.
we build around a
Okay.
motor and a set of rims and a
Right.
paint color. Everything else is make it work as you
Mhm.
go. What's up, Mike?
Hey, what's happening, guys?
Hi,
Okay.
Mike.
But man,
Hey, Mike.
I've been working
Yeah,
on
cause
this 54 and I got the
I was
dash and one
thinking
of
if
the
I
door
use.
panels done.
Hold on,
Mm,
let Mike talk.
I was going to pop them up on here and get y'all's opinion. The dash isn't done. I still got to put the decals in, but it's painted the color that it's going to be. That green we talked about last night, and I got my bare metal foil in. So I got to get decal in there and my decals for the speedo and all that in there. We got that done. And then got one of my door panels done. That green that you saw, the darker green, is actually going to be the body color. The interior green is going to be my contrast color.
Nice.
that's
what
nice.
Got some
I like
what
Right.
color
it.
green is
different.
that?
The green, the dark green is from Scale Finishes, which MCW, Ryan, is the people you were thinking of from Hobby Lobby or from Hobby Nut Models. MCW, they have
Mhm.
the list as far as that yellow you were looking for your race car. Um, they
Mhm.
have it there, but you can also go to Scale Finishes, and that's where I get my paint from. Scale Finishes. But to answer your question,
Right.
it's the 1950 Hudson Oriental Green is the dark green, and then the light green is basically it's the Ford, or it went across a lot of different genres. A lot of Chevy even had it, but it's seafoam green. That's
Okay.
going to be that lighter color green. I figured that it was. I wanted to keep it in the green family, and those two colors really contrast each other really well. So, went with those two colors with it. But yeah, you can get it
You
from
go too much
MCW.
to
Will
the
have that
paint?
yellow for that race car that you're looking for. And my personal opinion, scale finishes is easier to find as far as when you go looking for the color because it has a racing colors category. When you click on the racing colors category, it'll actually say, Penske. You can go to the P's, find Penske, then go to then from there it'll break it down. But MCW is really good stuff as well. I've got 50, 60 bottles of their paint too, so it's good stuff. It's either one will work and
You
get you
ain't
where you
got
need to
no
go.
paint, liar.
No, I know. I only got like 1 or 2 bottles. These are all empty bottles that I got out of the trash. My neighbor's a really avid model builder, so he goes through a lot of paint, and I just go get his empty bottles and
You
put 'em
just like
on
the
my-
names that are on them, right?
right?
I like,
Yeah.
I like the empty boxes.
Yeah, the empty box. I got a lot of empty boxes too. I told you my neighbor's an avid model builder, so whenever he throws his boxes out, I just scoop them up.
It's a good thing he's not a really avid one.
Not a really avid one, right? Because then I'd run out of room because I
Right.
wouldn't no room to put anything anymore.
Well, then you'd have to have storage for all the spare parts that were left
Now,
over.
I have right.
Well, thank you for your opinions and your input, guys.
Now,
I've been working on this door panels
Oh, yeah,
all
looks
day.
good, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, Outlaw, a question: do you have a secret bat room where your models are displayed like I've seen most people do with
I
their
don't
comic
have a
books?
I don't have a secret back room, if you will. The real truth is, we live in a 3
Uh huh.
bedroom house, and my girl and I, with her old,
Uh huh.
I say son, he's 24. I have my own room because I snore like a grizzly bear. So she can't, and we work different schedules. She works for a retail company where she might be working 3 to 11 this week, and then the next week she might be working 7 to 11. I mean, when she goes to bed, she's got to go to bed. And so I have another room in here. If you look behind me, that's my bed I sleep on every night. But so this
Uh
started
huh.
out as a hobby room, and then as our schedules changed, it just became my room. So we spend time during the day together,
Okay.
and then in the evening I come in here and I display them in the living room, but just either in the living room or
Okay.
at my shop.
Okay. Because I kept wondering. Because my question was, well, I seen all those models in the background, and I kept asking myself, where the models at? If those boxes are empty and stuff. I'm kind of curious
They're at his
if you guys
neighbors.
display like
Yeah,
a
my neighbor
museum.
built all those kits.
Yeah,
I
he
just
just
took
he just got
the
the
empty
empty
boxes out of
boxes
the
sitting on the
trash.
shelf. That's all.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's all it
Follow
is.
along.
I buy the empty boxes for $1.50 a piece off eBay, and then I put them up there so when I get on the camera in front of you guys, I look cool like you all. I'm just trying to be a big boy like you guys are.
And some of those he did buy in business, but not many.
Hey,
Oh
Yeah,
my
I
God!
always kept wondering.
I almost keep
'Cause
looking over my shoulder today. That guy was a great guy that hooked me up today, but I don't know if y'all saw it or not. But I got a smoking deal today. Buddy of mine, a
Oh
friend of a
wow.
friend called me up and said that there was a guy that had some model kits that he wanted to sell, and he had a Jeep that he needed to get some work done on. So I ended up calling the guy, and he's like, "Yeah,
Mhm.
I just need the heater core taken out and whatever." I'm like, "Yeah, we can hook you up." He said, "But I got these old model kits that I've been kicking around since the late '60s, early '70s," and he knew a little bit more than my friend did. But I said, "Well, what you got?" He said, "I got some old Johan kits." I said, "I'll be right over. I'm on my way."
Right.
I ended up with 5. Well,
Oh wow.
you can watch the video, but I got 5 sealed Johan kits. Um, the Scrambler,
Oh shoot.
one of the Comets,
'Cause I heard those were
the
going up in
Soxy
value.
Martin Superbird, a Superbird for a Petty Superbird, and the Pinto, the drag racing Pinto, all sealed.
Mhm.
And I got the '69 Roadrunner, and then I got a Mustang that wasn't sealed. The plastic was taken off, but everything was still in bags on the inside with another body. The guy had built. I found 4 sets of decals in the box, so he had 4 sets of that Mustang. And he just kept using the chassis to
Oh
put
wow.
different bodies on. So I had an extra Mustang body plus a whole model kit, and then he gave me a newer AMT Chevy pickup with no cab in it. The whole kit's there except for the cab and a 32 3-window that's started being built, whatever. All that for less than $150.
I was gonna say, was he able
Damn.
to get his vehicle fixed?
Yeah,
Oh,
he's
wow.
gonna get his vehicle.
That's
No,
not
he's
bad.
getting his vehicle. Get this, he's getting his vehicle fixed. For the other stuff, I only made it to the garage, and he said my good stuff's in the house. I didn't even make it into the house. I was out of money before I got out of the garage. And if there's 5 sealed Johan kits that's not his good stuff, I can't wait to make it to the house.
Right.
Right. So yeah,
Oh,
he's
yeah.
gonna he's
Oh,
gonna
wow.
he's gonna end up
Hey,
with lift kits and big tires. He's gonna end up with all kinds of shit, and I'm gonna have
just,
more empty boxes to put on the wall.
just remember, if you find an empty box of a Screaming Eagle in there, remember me. I'll
I
take the
will.
box.
I will.
I'll give you
He
$2
has
for
some.
the box.
He like I said, if you go back and watch, I just posted up a video of him a while ago, but and
Jeff
Papa
shared
actually
him on his
earlier on, he
stream.
posted a video or posted pictures of him, but
Yep.
I
Yeah,
stole
I've seen
those
the
kits.
pictures,
Like I
but
said, I
yeah,
keep looking over my shoulder waiting for the cops to show up.
yeah, that's definitely a hell of a deal, man.
Yeah.
Congratulations on that.
Yeah, the one comment alone, the cheapest I could find it. The comments, the what is it, Fast Richie or whatever comment,
Mostly.
the yellow and blue one. The cheapest I could find it was $160 on eBay. And again, I'm with you, Ryan. I don't think eBay should set the standard,
wow.
but the fact is they do. You know what I mean?
Well, it's not that they do; it's that the people
The dumb
always
people that buy it.
refer
It's the
to it
people that
as
look
if
at
it
them
is.
as the ones that set the price
Yeah, well, it's
because
the
they
people that
pay
buy
it.
them for that price. They're the people that are paying that kind of money for it. If Joe Schmo sold it for $175 on eBay and I got one, it's just
Yep.
the exposure. People, if they'll pay for it, and that goes with anything. Though you could have a bar of gold, and if nobody's going to give you $200 for it, then I mean, think about it. If we were
Right.
in having an apocalypse or something, what's gold worth? Gold ain't worth nothing. Water and food, that would be valuable.
You died and
You're
came
right.
to heaven, and you were allowed to bring one treasure, and you brought pavement.
Right.
Right.
Streets are paved with gold. What the fuck? You brought pavement?
That's it, because it's going to be different. And pavement might be worth money up there.
Nope.
But, all right, well, you
Fucking
can take me down about the big cam, but yeah, I was really excited about that. I've been
You don't
doing
say.
backflips all day.
You don't sound excited at all.
No, I was doing backflips all day. I ain't gonna tell you a lie.
You do sound like a guy who got a few nice kicks there. I ain't gonna detract from that.
All right. Trying to see. Should I work on the Shelby? No, I need to work on a different. I need to work on a different because I keep working on Fords right now. I need to work on the Shoot, what car did I got prepped up already? Crap. What car do I have that I need to be prep out? I need to finish the Taurus, but like I said, I'm working on too many Fords right now. Oh crap!
You can't never work on enough Fords. Fords are like Jeeps. They all the time need work. Fords are like Jeeps all the time needing work done.
Yeah. Daily ain't a joke.
I'm trying to.
Chevys don't need work done. They just need to get thrown away and start over again.
I think you're thinking of a Ford.
I think you're thinking Ford there, Mike.
No, you guys are confused.
No, Jason's not here. It's Mopar.
Yes. I can't. I can't betray my dog when he's not here, man. I love me some Mopar.
Right, Britta.
Oh wait, it's JDM that's always blowing up. Wing, 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 boom.
Listen, when you're an AMC fan, you pretty much get on board with anybody that's not picking on AMC.
Well, they are Chevy, Ford, and Dodge all mixed into
No,
one.
they're mutts, is what they are. They were a mutt. They had Ford motors, Chrysler motors, Chevrolet motors. They had Chevrolet transmissions.
Chevy axles.
Oh, they had all
Ford
kinds
tail
of shit.
lights. Anything that was left over.
That's it. They were mutts, man. They were mutts. They were the little motor car company that could until they couldn't anymore.
And honestly, that wasn't a bad strategy either.
No,
you know,
it
you
wasn't.
guys are done running them tail lights. Can we have them? You know, that's
Well,
not a
what it
bad
would
strategy.
do is the Jeep is a perfect example of this, and I don't mean to bore you all with my geek Jeep history, but in '86, Lee Iacocca bought out AMC. Chrysler Lee Iacocca bought them out and wanted. They just wanted the Jeep van. They didn't give two craps about the rest of the line. That's why they got rid of it. But when Chrysler came in and took over the AMC Jeep plant, they didn't change anything. They literally took the plans, the design from AMC and made the YJ, which was the 87 through 95, 6 model. And that's the square. Everybody knows it as a square headlight Jeep. And when it came out, everybody's like, Jeeps are supposed to have round headlights, square headlights. It's bullshit. Well, AMC designed that Jeep to have square headlights because if you remember at the time, minivans were freaking stupid popular.
Yeah.
And Philips and all these lighting companies that were making them were making square lights for those minivans. And there was a new style, right? The round had been around forever, so they were changing things. It was literally cheaper for AMC to buy the square headlights because Philips and all these light manufacturers were running those square lights at the mill. So they changed the Jeep headlight from a round headlight to a square headlight. And everybody blamed Chrysler and Lee Iacocca for it, for screwing it all up, but it really was AMC that did it. They were going to, if AMC had stayed in business one more year, they would have produced it with the square headlights.
Oh yeah,
So
they
there's my
probably.
Jeep geek trivia for the day.
Yeah, they would probably save their jobs right about now, and stuff.
I mean, that's one thing in life, you know, when you got to make them hard decisions or them changes, the decisions that make changes that you don't know how it's going to play out 10, 15 years down the road. As a business person, you got to do what's you feel is going to make you the most profit. That's business 101.
Exactly.
You know,
right.
If paying $200 for a set of headlights to put on a $14,000 car versus switching headlights to a $50 headlight makes you more profit, you're going to go with the cheaper headlight.
Hell yeah, you are. And why wouldn't you? You're foolish if you don't.
That's what I mean. Business 101, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you don't know how it's going to play out 10, 15 years down the road. So
you never know.
You do what's in front of you and
play out 3 months down the road.
Yeah, most of it, yeah.
You just, like I said, as a business person or a company, you got to do what's smart for the company.
Yeah, and if you don't, you ain't gonna stay in business very long.
AMC was way ahead of its time, and unfortunately, and part of the reason why I don't like GM to this day, when they created that Pacer, they designed that Pacer around a rotary motor that Chevrolet was making. And Chevrolet had it like right up to the end, that Pacer, and they had a contract saying that they would buy that motor from Chevrolet, put it in the Pacer. And right up till the end, you know, they're still this little motor car company is building this Pacer. They've got it all designed. They got all their, you know, the mill and the plants all set up for it. And boom, the last minute, like literally the last minute, Chevrolet pulls the rotary motor out of production. They're not going to make it. So they had to start sticking the six cylinders into the Pacers. And those of us that were around, I mean, I was around back then, but I was very young. Those Pacers for the first 2 or 3 years of production, they couldn't make them fast enough. They were just, and that was also the demise of them. They couldn't make them fast enough, so they weren't finishing them while they were building them. Literally, they get to the dealership, you open the door, and the door panel fall off. I mean, they just, and that motor that was in it, that 6-cylinder, was just never. That car was never designed for that 6-cylinder. Now later on, when they could retool everything, the later years, 77 and on up, that's when you got the wagon with the V8 in it and all that. But by then it was too late. I watched a documentary on it, and it's the guy, you know, AMC, the guy, whoever he was at the time, and I forget his name, but that was in charge of AMC, gets to his head salesman guy or marketing guy and whatever and says, you know, 3 years into it, and says, "How's our little Pacer doing?" He's like, "Well, everybody that wanted one's got one because they ain't selling no more."
Pretty much, yep.
Yep, they're done.
But all right, y'all, I'm gonna jump off just for a little while. My phone's about to die, so I'm gonna let it charge for a sec.
All right, Tim.
Okay.
All right,
Catch
I'll be
you
back
later.
on in a little while. See y'all.
Come back in, see you then. If not, have a good night. Kiss my ass.
Breathe in,
Kiss
breathe
my
out.
ass, y'all.
Breathe in, breathe out.
Hey, Mike,
Sir,
do you need your money back?
do I need my money back?
Yeah, I'm watching your video.
Oh, oh yeah, yeah.
You freaking stole them things, buddy.
I did steal them. I
Oh
did
my
steal.
God. That is awesome, dude.
I wasn't even going to buy it, because I know me and you got a deal that we were cooking. I'm like,
Man,
I said, Mr. Terry would understand on this deal. You can wait a
you
little
better
bit
believe
longer because
that.
he'd understand that.
Man, you
See,
stole all that, son.
I stole it.
Better watch
No,
out.
no, you didn't.
Jeff's gonna be
You
on you.
didn't steal it.
He's
You
already
didn't
been on
steal
one.
it. Nobody heard him say he stole it. He didn't steal it. He's not a thief. He didn't
No,
steal
he paid for it, but he stole it at a good price.
That's what I did.
it. He snagged
Yeah.
I knew I was going
to get a good deal when I pulled up into the driveway and I saw the broke down Jeep. I'm like, yep.
Dude's out up for money.
All right. And he's got more stuff. I got no way to put it up there to show you because it's on this phone or whatever. But he has he had a big, I say a kiosk, whatever you want to call it, like a glass case on wheels. And a lot of what was inside of it was not necessarily older or hard to find, but not, always common. You know what I mean?
Right.
But he had some motorcycle kits. He had this Honda motorcycle kit from the 70s, and it was a Daytona something or other, and had a little picture of a mini bike on the side or whatever. But I thought it was the mini bike, so I was asking him how much he wanted for it. He pulled out and it's this Daytona thing. And it was really cool. He had like the old Monopoly models. I think it was Monogram that came out with them, all like the Reading Railroad model and the Zinger model and all them cartoon models. He had a few of those. He had a Dragon Lady, which I've already got the Dragon Lady, so I didn't get onto that one, but I'm going back for it. He had the original Dodge 300 Ram Charger, the Johan Ram Charger. That one is set aside for when I do his. But basically, I bought what I could, and then we set a few aside for when we do the the heat exchanger and his heater core in his Jeep. So those would be my pay. I told him I couldn't buy his parts, but I could take the labor in models. And then
you mean when you go back for round 2?
When I go back for round 2, or he shows up. Once he shows up to my shop, then I really got him. But and I say that cheek and tongue because he's not going to do anything that ain't right for him either. He's no dummy, that's for sure.
Right.
But I got that '69 Roadrunner from him that was open, and he told me, he says, I think that's all there, but if it isn't, let me know. I'm pretty sure I've got at least 2 more in the house that are sealed. And I'm like, okay, well, you can just go ahead and add 1 more of those to my list, whether this one's all here or not, because I'm going to want one of those. And I know Jason from KRD's been looking for one, so I've already told him if I can get the sealed one, I'll get it. I'll let him have this one so he can build one to match his personal car. He's got a 1-to-1 car. So.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of like with my 1-to-1 C1500 sitting in the driveway. I bought her just over a year ago, and when I was looking for a vehicle at the time, the major dealerships, the big dealerships here in Houston, were selling the similar year GM trucks. Mine's a 94, so they were selling 92, 34 up through 98 Chevy and GMC trucks with average miles for those trucks, which that puts their mileage anywhere between 275,000 to 350,000 miles on the odometer. And they were selling those for $10,000 and $11,000. I found my truck, like I say, she's a 94. She only had 143,000 miles, less than half of average, and I only paid $2,800.
Nice.
And runs great.
See, I got a 01, 03. It's Cat Eye, one of the Cat Eye Chevrolets. Is my daily driver. The odometer went out. They're habitual about the dash cluster going out on them. And I got the last time it went out, I had over 300,000 miles on the truck, and that was like 4 years ago. I got
Oh,
when I
Yeah.
drive it. I don't got no speedometer. I don't know what my temperature gauge is doing. I don't know what I have. The whole dash cluster at this point doesn't work. I fire that bitch up every morning, drive it to work, drive it all over Hell's Half Acre, and drive it back home.
So basically,
It's
you
gotta have half a
by
million
the
miles.
seat of your pants. If it ain't,
Yeah.
if it's going wrong, you know it because you
Yeah,
feel
well,
it.
you drive it so much. I bet it's. I don't know that I'd be exaggerating if I said it had 500,000 miles on it. So you know the truck, right? I can tell you when it needs an oil change. It'll start sounding
Yep.
different. Oh, gotta
Yep.
get an oil change. And but it's just anybody else would think they're driving a piece of shit, but that thing fires up and goes everywhere I want it to go.
Yeah.
I give Chevrolets a hard time, but that one's not letting me down ever.
The only mechanical issue my truck has is there's a leak somewhere in the AC system.
Yeah, I don't have no AC. I mean, even in Florida, I don't have any AC.
Yeah.
I don't have AC. I don't have. The only heat I got is the seat heater.
Yeah, because
I just because I don't
last
fix it, I
summer,
drive the piece of shit back and forth to work. I don't care. I just drive
yeah,
it. When it's
last
cold, I wear a jacket. When it's hot, I roll the window down.
I went to Walmart and bought one of the tall cans of 134A that has the gauge on it and everything like that, and wound up putting that entire can into my AC system and got my AC blowing nice and cold. Oh, it was lovely in that triple digit heat. And that lasted for about 3 or 4 days. And then it started blowing hot again.
Yeah, you gotta get a leak somewhere.
Yep.
Doing that, be careful when you do that. Just the Freon's fine, but don't get that one with that leak sealer stuff in it. That'll gum up your system.
Yeah. Whereas I'm not going to get the one with the leak sealer, but I am going to get a can with the leak detector.
You need the green dye in it so you can find it.
So that I can
you can do the leak detector because that one that's just a dye.
Yeah.
That won't gum up your system, but that leak sealer stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I'm
that
not
gets
getting the
into
leak sealer.
everything. That gets into everything and will screw up more than it's worth.
Yep. But like I say, I need to get some with the leak detector dye, charge up my system, let it
You'll
run
find
for
out
a
where
little
it's leaking
while,
from.
and then once it starts blowing hot again, open up the hood and start looking for the stained component, and then go to rockauto.com, order the new part. When it gets here, put it on, and then go get some just regular 134A, fill it up, and be good to go.
Yep. I see guys do that with the AC, and it's like that. What do they call that tire stuff that they put in a tire?
Fix a
flat. Oh yeah, I know.
Fix a flat.
Yeah.
You put fix a flat in the tire and come to my shop, and I break the bead. Well, actually, I let the air out of the tire, and I can smell that shit. I'll hand you back your tire. So I don't want none to do it. That shit's flammable, boy. I've seen that. Not personally seen it, but the safety videos. People go to bust a tire down, and it makes a spark or whatever off the rim. It'll blow up.
Yep.
And it just absolutely destroys the inside of the tire.
Yeah.
You can't balance it. You can't get it right. And I'll hand them back their tires. Nope, can't do nothing with this.
Yep. That and stop leak for your radiator.
Yeah. And then the guy that put an egg in his radiator. If you had a leak, he put an egg in there, and it'd get hot enough to boil the egg. And then when it was trying to get out the hole, it would block up the hole. That I can see because you can get the egg back out.
Yeah,
right. That's biodegradable. But the old man would put
biodegradable. It's edible.
It's edible. That's what I mean. But the old
the
man
incredible edible egg. Come on.
Yeah. Well, not after putting inside a radiator, but.
Yeah, I wouldn't cook it. I wouldn't eat it if it was cooked with coolant, but that's antifreeze. If antifreeze is your green drink, you go on. I'm down.
Well, I can tell you right now, if my radiator had a hole in it and I put an egg in there to seal the hole, I guarantee you I've been running water. The fucking antifreeze is too damn expensive to be walking a week out of it.
But I've seen them put pepper in there too. Pepper will do the same thing. When it hits the water, it swells up, and then wherever it gets to where the hole is, it'll try to come out the hole, and if it's just a pinhole, the pepper will clog the hole up. I've seen that.
But when I go to buy a used vehicle, if I find out that it had ever had stop leak in the radiator, I won't buy it. Because at that point, you might as well take the entire engine out, put a brand new engine in it, and just go from scratch. Because you ain't never gonna get that crap out of your water jackets.
You're right about that. That shit's there forever. That's
And
that's like age. You don't get rid of that shit.
my mom, several months ago, bought a Nissan Altima, I think it was, and previous owner was having some head gasket issues or something with it, so they put some stop leak in the radiator. 2 cans
Lucky they had any circulation.
stop leak into the radiator, and then they couldn't get it to work to run right, so they took it to a shop, and the shop finally gave up on it, and the previous owner wasn't willing to pay. So the shop says, all right, well, give me the card and we're set and we're even. So the previous owner was like, all right. And then the shop owner went and put it up for sale, and he was honest about it. He says, it's had 2 cans at once of stop leak in the radiator. I flushed it out, replaced the head gasket and all that.
But it's still
I
crap.
can't figure out what's wrong with it. I'm done with it. I just want to sell it. And I tried to warn my mom against it, but she was like, yeah, no, the price is right and it runs good, blah, 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 blah. And my little brother and I never could get that motherfucker right.
And you won't, because it's all that garbage is inside the head, inside the block, everywhere there's a coolant port where that coolant runs through there. That stuff is stuck to something, and it can't get the flow.
And
if it can't flow,
my
then it
car
don't.
had effectively terminal.
That contrast. Ooh, that came out nice. You don't see that?
Nice.
That way that green and that dark green play off each other. Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Except for the booger. You see the booger? Look at the booger. I'll explain the booger. See the booger in the middle of the seat?
Yeah.
Okay. The contrast plays well off each other. You know what that booger's from? The hump is so deep in the middle from where I had to run the drive shaft that I had to cut that out to fit the hump for my tunnel. And in fact, I even dented my tunnel, made my. That's a tip that maybe somebody doesn't know. How many of y'all will buy those aluminum like bean pans and stuff from like the dollar store that you put beans, macaroni and cheese in at Christmas time or whatever? I use those to make. That's what I made that tunnel out of. Cut them with a pair of shears. It's aluminum, but it's real thin. But anyway, I had to cut up through there. So when I put my seat belts in here, I'm going to have one seat belt facing straight out and the other one laying over. And then on this side, I'm going to have the end one laying over on top of that one to cover up my booger with the front of it laying out.
Right.
I stole that straight from Fred. He's the one that told me, he says, I'm not a great builder. I just hide my mistakes really well.
That's the thing, man. How well can you hide them?
Yeah.
Sometimes they let your camera do it. Other times you just don't point it out. If you never would have told us, we never would have known.
Oh, you can't miss that booger if you look at it.
No, I mean, once you had your seatbelts on it.
Oh, yeah. Once the seatbelts are on there, you're right. You probably never would know. There's the contrast without the chrome. I just pulled that one out of the Easy Bake, but that dark green on that light green, maybe I'm just tooting my own horn, but I think that looks really good. Stands out really well.
Oh yeah, it does
really
look
good.
Yeah. I'm excited about this one.
And for an interior like that, having that super high contrast like that, it actually makes things easier to see when you're looking into the interior.
That's right. Remember, if you guys were around, some of y'all that might have saw my Volkswagen build, I did the interior a different color, but it was a dark color, and it's a dark color on the outside, so you really can't see nothing in there. And I was kind of disappointed. I like the look, but I was kind of disappointed because you can't really see the work that's been done inside the Volkswagen.
Right.
So this one, I said to myself, I'm gonna have some contrasting colors on here. You're gonna be able to see the work in there.
Well, it's like the interior to my 2017 Camaro 50 edition that I'm building. The red and orange and gray interior. That's the reason I did that. I wanted very high contrasting colors so that when you go to look into the window opening, you can actually see the various details.
Right. Exactly. Things don't get lost.
Exactly.
I know I'm not very fond of doing a solid black interior at all.
I've actually ordered seafoam flocking for the. That's why I painted the this part. The rest of the chassis will be black, but I painted that the seafoam because I have seafoam flocking coming from Scale Finishes. That's going to so it'll all match. Now
Right.
there will be a little bit of loss as far as when the seat's in there. You got green on green. You know, it's going to be a little bit of loss there. But that flocking that he has, I don't know if it's intentional or not, but it almost has like a metallic-y look to it. So you'll be able to, it'll and it won't match perfectly anyway. Which
Well, the metallic
should.
in it back in the the late 50s, early 60s, they had
yeah,
like
there's
tinsel in the carpet.
yeah, exactly. That's the way this stuff is.
Yep.
It's not. Yeah, I think tinsel might be a strong word, but whatever they use. To
Well,
held
you
it
know what I
together-
mean. You know,
Yeah,
little
yeah,
fibers of silver or whatever it is.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And that's the way this flocking is. If the light hits it just right, it kind of sparkles.
It was
So-
probably recycled Christmas tinsel that gave me the idea to put it in the car carpets in the first place.
Could very well. I have no idea. Could very well be. But
Yeah, the only time I use super dark colors like black, for example, in an interior is if it's a car that I'm building that has opening doors. Now,
Yeah.
whether it's because the kit came with doors that are supposed to be opening, or if I cut the doors out and made them to open. Either way, that's the only way I use black in an interior on a 24 to 25 scale.
if it's either that or if I'm trying to hide something, if I've butchered the floor pan so bad trying to make stuff something in there that wasn't supposed to be there, and I
Yeah.
wanted to hide it, or I just don't want it to catch your eye. Maybe I'd rather you be looking at the seats and if you got like a black carpet, and then the seats are, freaking I don't know silver or something. You want to see that seat.
Yeah.
Then
Right.
it takes the eye away from that. But yeah, I'm the same way.
Did that
Like I
pink,
said with
though.
this one, I just wanted it to match up. And
Ni-
you look in the
90%
window, you
of
see
my
it.
cars usually end up with a two-tone anyway.
Right.
I mean, other like my Cadillac, I knew I needed a glossy blue and a flat blue because there's like a vinyl and then there's velour,
Mhm.
right? So the
Mhm.
flat is the velour. So there's a two-tone. It's all right within the same color. But if I was to do a black color on an interior of a car with the chrome trim and wood grain, if there's wood grain, I guarantee you that was not the focus of the build. It's either under the hood, under the chassis, or the body.
Yeah.
And the interior was kind of like, yeah, I'm done. Get this done. Put it together. Get the fuck in there. Let's get it off the bench.
Yeah.
I don't see black to me as I'm gonna spend 4 days building 4 different colors of black: seats, carpet, dash, this, that, and the other stuff. And then shoot it with a dull coat, and it all ends up one color black. So I don't waste my time with black. I'd rather do the tan, the burgundy and gray, or
Right.
any color of a two-tone, so that I feel like I've enjoyed building the interior.
Yeah.
Because to me, just black with chrome, I can have fun doing it, but I'm not going to enjoy it to where I want to look at it.
And
I saw.
it's like we were discussing, when you do something like that anyway, you destroy effectively any amount of detail in there, because once you get everything put together, if you're using mostly black for your interior, you're not gonna see it.
It's going to run together.
And
I'll
that's
tell
why-
you what I saw the other day that I thought was really cool, and I want to try it. I saw it on the YouTube because I'm forever looking for new ideas. Is where I came up with the hydro dipping thing. But this guy, that cheap, you can get it at Hobby Lobby or any fabric store, but it's that cheap pleather that's got the white fur on the back.
Yep.
You know what I'm talking about?
I know
Yep.
exactly what you're talking.
I saw a guy on YouTube who was taking that, shaving the fur off of the back of it with a razor, getting all the white stuff off, leaving it's pleather, it's not leather, but leaving a very, very, very thin, leathery type material, and would cut it up and lay it in the seats, and it's not much thicker than a decal. Maybe
I
two
bet you I
decals.
can guarantee you I know where you heard and saw that on YouTube.
I don't know. I don't remember who it was, but I saw it, and I'm like, that is a good idea because you can get that tan, black.
I can show you pictures right now that the guy that did it was me.
Was
I
it?
did the dash, the whole interior of the 70 Chevelle, everything with
Okay.
that.
Okay, maybe it was. I don't know.
I mean, and I think it was only maybe Thursday, maybe.
Oh no, I saw this a while ago, but that doesn't mean it's not the same thing. But no, I
Right,
did
right.
that. I saw this 4 or 5 months ago, probably.
Well, there is a video of it on my channel as well from way back when or whatever. But,
Okay,
you know,
maybe that it could very well have been the one that I saw.
not
I
not to
don't remember.
take the only credit, because I'm pretty sure other people have done it. I didn't learn it from anywhere. I just saw it and I thought, well, fuck, let's fillet this shit off of there, and it worked. So
I thought it was a great idea. What a great tip, to be able to try it.
well, I mean, if you want a leather interior, fuck, you can't get better than the leather look.
Exactly. And when you get done shaving it, from the video I watched, whether it was yours or whoever else's, you get done shaving it. There's not a lot left. There's not a lot
No,
of
it
material
is
in it.
thinner than the plastic baggie our parts come in.
There you go. And how perfect is that?
And if you just warm it up with a lighter like you would with a heat gun, if you're doing real carpet, it'll flex, it'll bend, it'll stretch, it'll do whatever you want.
It might have been your video then, because this guy heated it up with a hair dryer.
A pen torch.
Pen
I
torch,
use
maybe.
I use a pen torch. Yep.
Maybe that's what it was. I don't remember for sure, but it might have been yours I was watching then. Right? And if
Here,
it was, hats off to you. 'Cause that's
Let me
cool
find
to
my
me.
picture and let's see if it was.
That was a great tip.
Well,
I instantly said I was stealing that.
mini mic off the big screen anyway.
Yeah, you can take me off the big screen. I'm a handsome fucker, but I don't think everybody wants to look at me.
Yeah, somebody done lied to mini mic. And
There
as
we
far
go.
as the aluminum pan, you're talking about
Does this
these?
look like the familiar picture when he shows it?
Now the aluminum pan I've used before. I don't remember an aluminum pan being in the video, but that doesn't mean. Oh wait a minute, I'm not looking at yours. Where are you?
He's not got it up yet.
Okay. I was gonna say, yeah, you're a heart right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I got a picture of the pleather, the white side, the melted, the knife, the pen torch, the whole bit right there.
Yeah, I think that was the one I watched. Yep.
And see,
Shave
there's
back of it
there's
off.
the
Yep,
seats.
Yep.
There's
Yep.
the
Yep.
dash.
That's it. That's the one I watched.
Yep. So yeah, then you saw it right here live on the daily chat with the boys.
Yeah, that's the one. It was really cool, man. I was like, wow, that's a great idea.
And you want to know where I got the black furry felt stuff for the floor in that one? I had an old 3-cushion couch, and it broke. The wooden frame broke.
Right.
So I took my hobby knife, I cut that fucker up, I filled the garbage bag, and I still have a shit ton of that black felt.
Yeah, that stuff works good too. That
I mean,
makes
it's
for, like, good
super
headlines.
thin. It's super
Yeah.
thin, like a carpet. It's not like shag size. It's smaller, so
Right.
a little
And it
more
works
than a
good for a
Berber,
headliner too, right? You can put it up
Oh,
in the
God,
headliner.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it has no backing on it. It's
Yeah.
super thin. Glue's easy, doesn't bleed through.
That's cool. I got some of that under hood material from, I believe it was Detail Master.
Yep.
And I used it on the Volkswagen. I really liked it. That was cool. I mean, you wouldn't want to use it for a headliner. It's kind of thick, cushy for that. But
It's also
I liked
spendy.
It is that. It's a little pricey. But I liked it because it doesn't tell you how to apply it. So I put down clear glue on the piece and then cut it out to fit, put clear glue on my piece and laid it down. And it kept pulling up on the corner. So I was like, well, fuck it. It's clear glue. So let me try to run the glue through the material and see what happens. That's the way to do it. Lay the piece down and run the glue through the material, just like you would a headliner or whatever.
Right.
And it'll lay right into place. You can use the glue as a lubricant to get, to lay everything down around the corners, around the
Right.
edges, and then fill the middle in. And then once it dries, it looks just like it did before it had glue on it.
The worst material I've ever tried to glue onto anything, like with my dollhouse stuff or models, is silk or satin. It bleeds through so freaking bad. So what I found to do is you take a sheet of paper, spray it with spray adhesive, stick your silk or satin over it, let it dry, cut out your pattern, and the paper helps keep it from fraying, and then you glue the paper to it, and it doesn't bleed through.
Right. That makes sense.
Right. Especially when it's that thin, any glue will bleed through it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because it's porous. It's gonna there's actual holes in the material that glue's gonna have to come through. So yeah, that makes
Well,
sense.
it's only as thick as a thread. You know?
There's that
It ain't
too.
no thicker than that.
There's that too.
Well, a thread and a half because they got to overlap the weave.
I have faith in you, sweetheart.
It ain't much. Yeah, I've used a lot of material over the years. You know, that was one thing I used to love doing the most was focusing on just the interiors. But they don't stand alone as a model by themselves, like building a motor. You can put that on a stand and let it sit by itself,
Yeah.
you know. Or if you got a frame of a chassis without the belly tub in it, you can build a rolling chassis. It'll stand alone, you know.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
interiors,
like a funny car or something like that, you could really focus on the.
well,
I guess
even a
it'd be
NASCAR, with no body, you know,
Yeah.
they're pretty much fully built rollers before they go to the body shop.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that kind of stuff stands alone, but an interior tub with the big package tray hanging out, yeah, no, that don't look right. You know. Hi, Jess. Welcome.
Hey, Jess, what's happening, huh?
She's complaining about being sleepy. She's got 2 more hours to go. I have faith in her. I think she can do it.
I know she can. She's the snail. She can do anything.
Exactly.
She just got to spin the wheel and decide which house is crop dusting right.
As long as she's playing spin the wheel and not spinning the bottle, she'll be out of trouble.
Well, she can roll the bottle, and when it stops, that's the aisle.
There's that. Oh, snap, crackle, and pop.
Is she a nurse too? That's what I was wondering too.
No, she's not a nurse. She works in a store.
Target.
She works for Target.
Oh, okay.
I swear to God, if my shop sells like it's looking like it's gonna, maybe next 6 months, 8 months, I'm gonna go to work at a parts store, Target, something like that, and get me a damn regular job, pay taxes like everybody else, and bitch about my
Right.
boss at work.
I haven't had a
Mhm.
W-2 in too long, man. Every time I went to work, they always hired me as a freaking self-employed subcontractor. I had to pay my own shit. I'm like, I could do without the 1099. Give me a 1020.
Right.
W-2.
It's not. I mean, the numbers are bad enough, but it's having to do it and pay somebody. I pay my sister to do it, and she's very good at it. And she probably would do it for nothing if the company's making decent money. So I'm like, I got to pay you and then pay tax on top of that. It's like, this is horse shit.
Well, the thing that always screwed me, I'd work all summer long, and then in the wintertime, seasonal work, you don't work.
Right.
And that's when you got to pay your taxes when you're technically
broke.
waiting for spring. You know?
Yeah, when you're broke.
Yeah, it's like, well, this don't fucking work for me, damn it. Give me an extension, make payments, whatever. But
I remember when I got my first paycheck, working for somebody. I'm like, who's this FICA person and why did they take my money?
yeah.
I don't like FICA. FICA could fuck off.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Mike, Joe wants one of your cool shop cards.
You what?
Joe
Hey, Mike,
Barbado
could you
wants
send
one of
me-
your
yeah,
shop cards.
Yeah, Joe, just shoot me an email if anybody wants that, or my shop card, or one of these Kiss My Ass stickers, one of these Terry Kiss My Ass stickers. Just shoot me an email at JEEPINJANAS71@yahoo.com. We'll be happy to get you a shop card and one of these Kiss My Ass stickers or whatever you want. We'll make sure it happens for you.
And don't let him fool you. He'll probably send you a little discount code with it.
Well, the discount code you got to go. The discount code you got to go to the channel to get. Unless, of course,
Go ahead. You can do
unless,
it.
of course, you
Go
want me
ahead.
to.
I don't care.
Yeah, follow this link.
I gotta do that
Now,
from you
we're
guys.
fortunate enough to have scale finishes and Nice Man collections. Where they give us a little discount for the viewers, 10% off if you go there and use my code. We appreciate them.
I mean, the thing I
gotta
like
do
about
that.
that is you're supporting a small business, not a conglomerate.
Well,
You know?
that's just
Exactly.
it. Everybody, not everybody, but there's some people like Joel, who is the guy that owns Iceman. He is Iceman. They think that he's some sort of conglomerate. He's not. He's a one man band
Right.
working out of his shop. He's just been successful at it. He's where some people have one or two printers. He's got 14, 16, whoever knows how many printers running, but he's just a one man band working out of his
Well,
shop.
Yeah,
Mike's
when you narrow your
is
focus
in
to
the,
go in a direction and he keeps paying
go to
for
Mike's
himself to get it
channel,
bigger.
Scale Model Outlaw, and his email is in the channel description.
It's in the channel description, or again, it's JEEPINJANAS71 or you can go to Scale Model Outlaw, it's on there as well, whichever works best for you.
Yeah, just don't follow the link that Kevin tried to post.
Yeah, Mike, can you give me that again?
There ain't no telling where you end up with that one.
That one ain't gonna. That one won't work for you.
That'll be midget Pornhub.
These high and low spots are down
There it is. I got it up on the chat now. I'm sorry. I'm trying to tape off my head valve covers and should have been paying attention to that. But if you hadn't seen them, I don't know if anybody's seen them or not, or some people may have. That's my. It's not for the model. It's like for your workbench or whatever. But that's my Terry Senior Kiss My Ass decal.
Okay.
Like I said, everybody was doing ones for the models, and I didn't want to step on anybody's toes, so I figured, you know what, you can slap one on your lunchbox, you can slap one on your workbench, whatever you wanted to do. So
Car window, laptop,
whatever.
Workbench. A lot of people have their workbenches covered with decals.
Yeah, mine's covered with decals. I got two of those on here, and one of my cards, Iceman. My buddy that has a YouTube channel that does Jeep stuff, he's all over my workbench. I got Sodak, Manny, JR, Bruce is on here. Anybody that sends me a sticker, Fred's on here, Old Tom's on here. Anybody that sends me a sticker, Mars is on here. Send me a sticker and it'll end up on my workbench.
That means you got to get a hold of Tobias Glue Bomb Circus, his channel.
Tobias Glue Bomb Circus. I don't know. I don't think I've ever heard of that one.
He's also got a knife channel as well.
Okay.
But he does live chats and he's a model builder. But not necessarily just show rod stuff, but he does some cool things as well. I followed him because obviously show rod stuff.
Right, that's your alley there.
I got his shop card, and it comes with shop card, a sticker, a business card, the knife channel shop card, and business card as well.
Oh, cool.
So just so you know, there's an option to get you another sticker. And it's actually pretty cool. And if I could get a sticker of one in particular, it would have to be the plastic buzzard. Just because it's the most colorful, coolest looking one I've seen in a long time.
Which one? The buzzard model?
Plastic,
yeah, plastic buzzard.
Plastic buzzard. Yep.
Yeah, I got one of his cards. He didn't send me a decal, but I've got one of
That's
his
what
cards.
I mean. If I could get a sticker.
Oh, yeah, that is a super. You're right. That's a super colorful card.
And it's a cool channel too for those who haven't been there.
Yeah, I have tuned into his channel. Yeah, he's watched and commented on a couple of my videos as well.
I can't say for certain, but I wouldn't doubt he's been in the chat part of many of these streams over the years.
Sure.
All right, guys, I'm gonna hop out of here. I got a puppy here on the counter wanting to go to bed.
Have a good one, Terry.
He's nudging me and pawing and all kind of stuff. He's ready to go night-night.
Have a good night. Sleep well. Kiss my
Yeah,
ass.
we'll catch y'all later.
Bark, bark.
Y'all all kiss my ass, and Mike, you want your money back? Let me know.
I still got to send you.
Night, Terry, too.
Night, Terry.
Catch y'all later, buddy. Everybody in the chat, catch y'all later. Bye.
Every night.
Till next time. Till next time. See you later, Terry.
I didn't know this was bring your child to work day. I mean, bring your pet to work day.
All right,
Same thing.
check
Same
your
thing.
email.
See y'all later.
Question: do you guys wear sand inside the body? Or no?
Wet sand the inside of the body?
No.
Right. No.
If anything, we'll sand the China data stuff on top of the roof and some of the pinholes, but we won't wet sand it. We'll just make sure it's smooth.
Yeah.
Is it okay? Because I always kept wondering about that. Do you guys ever sand or wet sand inside so that way it'd be like the paint goes on the whole body smoothly and stuff like that, so you don't have no errors inside where they take up, tack up around the when the paint or glue gets in there.
Honestly, if the windows go in from inside, if you mask the area where you're planning to glue it, it wouldn't matter if you paint it or mask it. You still want to kind of stuff it a little bit so the glue has something to stick to. But honestly, it's 99% of people don't bother with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
I mean, even the professional ones, they'll build every last thing as best they can. They might do that, but even they would tell you, yeah, why? Nobody's going to see it.
Yeah.
If you got a model with 8,000 freaking parts on it, the last thing they're going to look at is how you mounted certain things on the inside of a body you can't see.
Yeah.
If anything, inside the wheel arches on the front and the rear.
Yeah, that's what I was fixing to say. I have, added things, water bottles, power steering pump, reservoirs, that sort of thing. But I don't think I've
No,
ever...
I mean the inside of the actual fender.
Up under the
because
fender.
when you flip it over, you'll actually see the fender. The rear wheel arch you might see a little bit. Put the chassis in there, whatever you can see exposed. That stuff you wouldn't mind scuffing and painting.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to flip your car over and see white. Unless you got a white car.
Right. Or the texture, right? And stuff like that too. Like
texture is a different story, But.
Okay.
Texture in some cases applies and fits.
The interior of a car is, if it's a part of the interior that has a chance of being seen once the car is built.
90% of the time, the tunnel.
Like the roof, the inside of the roof of the car, or the inside of the A pillar, B pillar, C pillar, etc. Things like that. If there's a pin mark, or if there's a molded in
model description,
copyright, whatever, I'll get rid of that.
Right.
But as far as for wet sanding, no.
Like I said, it doesn't really pay to.
Let alone the interiors.
But I will say this, if you put something in your interior that's going to draw attention to itself, make sure it's done right, i.e. like a custom roll cage. If you put a custom roll cage, like I'm putting a custom roll cage made out of titanium welding rod, TIG rod, in my Pacer, and because it's not supposed to be there and it's going to draw attention, you want to make sure that it's right, because that's going to be something different. It's going to draw... And I guess it doesn't matter if it's on the inside or the outside. If it draws your eye, you want to make sure that whatever's drawing your eye is done as good as you can possibly do it, for the very reason that it draws people's eye.
Yeah. Even if you're putting a little shoebox on the seat, or a magazine, or a flyer on the seat, like you would at a car show.
Dual tank.
Somebody's going to look in there and see that, and they're going to look at everything around it.
Yeah. In this case, a dual tank nitrous rack. You want it nice and shiny and pretty. You want it to look good. And
I spent too much time. I spent way too much time building the racks I built, the nitrous racks I built for that Pacer. They came out looking really good, but god damn, I spent too much time on that.
Even the circle things that's inside the interior of the car.
Yeah, those are the injector pin marks. Yeah, those you want to get rid of.
If there's somewhere you're going to see it in the finished build. If you're not going to see it, then don't worry about it.
Yeah, if it's underneath the trunk and the trunk don't open, don't bother.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you may want to flip it over and look at the outside of the trunk where them pressure marks are, and make sure it's flat, because 90% of the time they're sink marks.
Yep.
Yep. Very true.
And if there are sink marks,
get your body skills out, your little plastic hammer and dolly.
Really
There
good.
you go.
Your plastic welding rod.
Yep.
Your plastic welding rod.
I remember one time when I started the class the one time, and my teacher I was just asking him a bunch of questions here and there, and you know how they tell you, he tells you to take the dolly and the pick hammer. So I did the opposite, and he's having these fenders into a 2001 T-Bird that Ford donated to them and stuff, and it was cut up in pieces from the factory. So I'm thinking, if I asked him if I could offer him some money for this whole body. When I say whole body, I'm talking about the whole car itself, one half to another half. And I said, I'll pay you almost $1,000 a piece for both ends, so I could just build me an actual car and everything and call it a day. He said, no, I can't do that and stuff. So, but he was using it as a demonstration, and he's telling me how to hammer this out and how you go about it. So he said, here's the dolly and here's the hammer, the pick hammer. Instead, I told him, I don't need the pick hammer. He said, why? Because since you put the dent in there already, I was going to take the ball pen hammer and fix it right back and paint it after that. He looked at me like, nope. So he made it so hard that he take the pick hammer and jab that motherfucker right through the fender where I would have to repair the hole and everything else. And he just put all these big ass dents even worse than where it was. And I was trying to be a smart ass and took the ballpoint, tack welded, did what I had to do without using Bondo, like old school weld on the fender. And he just like, will you just stop doing what you're doing? I think you're being a smart ass. I'm trying to show you how to do it the right way and do it in a timely manner. And stuff. I said, pretty soon, these days, ain't nothing gonna be timely manner anymore now. Because the way they build cars now and stuff. And sure enough, when you look at everything now, it takes you back like, damn, I was right.
Well, nowadays they don't even bother doing metal replacement or repair. They just get a new panel and use the body panel adhesive and stick a new panel on it.
And as far as for this this Mr. Hobby White putty, working excellent for filling divots and sinkholes. You see all the surgery lines on the inside of the panel, the side panel for my ramp truck, right? Where I cut and modified and changed the sides of the truck.
Yeah, that'd be great. See, I like that.
All that is Mr. Hobby White and Mr. Hobby Surfacer 1000.
I got a question. Do you guys have a Dodge? What's it? 64 Dodge Ram Charger or the what's that blue car? Gone something? Gone and
Color Me Gone.
Color Me Gone.
Yeah,
Yes, I have
63 Dodge 330.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yes, the answer to the question is I have both. One's blue and one's red. Color Me Gone, I believe, is blue and the Ram Charger is red. Is that right? I think.
And the yellow one is Maverick.
Yep, I got that one too.
I was going to ask.
Yellow and black is Maverick. Blue is the Color Me Gone, and red is the other one. Yep, all got ones. One's a Lindbergh.
They should all three be at Lindbergh.
Yeah, all three. They're all three Lindberghs.
Yeah.
The Ram Charger is a repop of the.
And there's a stock version too that has none of the drag wheels. No drag wheels, no headers.
Yeah, the Johan kit that I was looking at today, that's the original Ram Charger, and it was in a flatter box that was bigger, and it had both. You could do it drag style where you can do it factory style.
Mhm.
That one will end up on my shelf too. I just got to do some work for the guy instead of taking the money out of my pocket.
Okay. Because the reason I
But
was asking about that
they're
kit was about the what do you
The
call it?
dog.
The trailer. Can you build a trailer out of that? Because I was hearing rumors about it and
Build a
stuff.
trailer out of the 330 Dodge.
No, that's, we must be thinking about something different then.
No,
Because
off
the
the
Dodge,
tree. Like off the tree from that kit, you could make a trailer out of that.
I guarantee you
yeah,
can. Anytime you got a straight piece of screw, you can make anything you freaking want.
Okay. Because I was hearing something about that. That's what I was trying to find out. That you could
it's
take.
Oh,
all about.
Kevin, we missed it. Kevin had his due date today. He named it Mud.
To,
Hey, go
I'm
for it.
sorry I missed that, buddy.
Whereas me, when I go to doing scratch build stuff,
uh-huh.
this is what I like: the Evergreen Scale Products polystyrene, and you
Mm-hmm.
can get it in all different sizes and shapes and just everything.
You can look on eBay and they have 30 piece and 60 and 150 or 100 piece sets of
Uh-huh.
tubing, squares, hollow and solid rod, angle iron, all kinds of other stuff in various
Uh-huh.
sizes. If you buy the variety pack of 100, it's coming from China, but it's actually shipped from an American warehouse.
Oh, okay.
But it's like $15, $25 for 100 pieces. 15
Oh, that ain't bad.
like $8 for 30 pack or whatever. And it's
Mm-hmm.
the same exact thing, straight up. It's ABS plastic. That's all you're looking for.
Okay.
And it don't matter if it's evergreen or if it's what's the
Plastiduct.
other one? Plastruct or any of it. It's all the same shit.
Yeah.
In fact, you can go to your hardware store and buy a piece of PVC tube. It's the same freaking plastic.
That's
But it's
true.
real thick.
That's true. Now this thing's ready.
There's one guy here on YouTube. I forget what his channel name is, but he builds effectively 1/32 scale, and he literally builds his kits completely from scratch using PVC pipe and stuff like that.
Yep.
Oh shit! Did he? Man. I'm gonna have to watch that.
PVC is it's nice and durable and it's conformable, cuttable, sandable, carvable. I mean, you can do anything and everything you want with it.
Yeah,
So,
he gets basically stuff like this and smaller and larger and just all sorts of stuff like that. But it's PVC, not polystyrene. And he completely scratch builds these kits. And I'm talking just as detailed, if not more detailed, than any out of the box 24th, 25th scale kit could ever be.
yep.
Mhm.
And he's literally starting with just chunks of plastic
And a blueprint.
and a hand-drawn blueprint at that. I mean, yeah, he looks up the
dimensions
and whatnot online, but then he makes a hand-drawn blueprint of what his sizes need to be and everything like that. And the dude is absolutely amazingly talented. That's what I call a model builder.
So that's kind of what I do with some of my show rod stuff that I built from scratch, like my Gravedigger or Morticia or, some of these wild ones that I built, like the tool truck with the toolbox, right? I had an idea. I had a sheet of plastic. I just went to town. That was it. I didn't have no instructions.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I had a ruler that gave me freaking, I need it longer, taller, shorter, wider, thicker, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But beyond that, yeah, it was just, let's go. I still
And-
need to find a little treasure chest, and everybody's like, "Well, just build your own treasure chest." And I'm like, honestly, it would probably make more sense to build my own treasure chest. I can get the right scale, size, shape, design, etc. But
What are you gonna do if you had the treasure chest?
you want to see?
Yeah.
And let's see if I can go back to here.
Gonna put his treasure in it.
No, he's gonna build something. He's gonna scratch build another themed model kit out of it.
Yeah, if you're familiar with Hot Wheels, they have a series called Treasure Hunts.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the initial plan, is to make a treasure hunt. I don't know if you want to pop that up there for me real quick, Bob, just so they can
Sure.
see the idea. It's basically a 30s Ford, 29 to 30s, whatever, for the fenders. Got the treasure chest as the cab. Instead of hinging open, it's lifted up.
Oh, okay.
And then the paint job is the map with the X marks the spot. That's it.
Okay, I like that.
But it's
Yeah.
Treasure Hunter is because Hot Wheels have treasure hunts. Gave me the idea to make one that was a treasure hunter. But I want to
So
find
you gonna
one
do
that
that as a model?
as a model. In
You gonna do that as a
120
model? Or
Kind of like a junkyard truck.
Well, yeah, basically. I mean, it's a scratch built fucking concept kind of thing. Is all it really is. You know.
You're gonna put any headlights on that trash truck?
I might.
You need to. That guy's gotta say you go find it.
Right.
Is that gonna be a model? Or is that gonna be a real thing?
No, it's going to be a model.
that
If I build a real one, it's going to be my toolbox, because that
Okay.
one I can offer up to anybody like Snap-on, Mac Tool, Craftsman, you name it, Harbor Freight. They
Right.
can use it as a show promotion to promote their product, because it's a fucking tool chest,
Right.
you know.
Right. Well, because I have a not to say a treasure chest, but kind of like a big chest box, big enough to put in your model cars and stuff, and you probably could use it as a not to scare everybody in the chat. You could put an actual body in this treasure chest. You could probably put 2 or 3 bodies in this treasure chest I got.
Yeah, my sister's got a few of them that size, and yeah, I'm not looking at building a real one, but I want one that's about 4 inches wide, maybe 2.5, 3 inches deep, and about 3.5 inches tall, roughly. Just a small little treasure box. You know, it'd probably be something you'd find like a diamond ring in or something for your girl or whatever. You know? Or like a Easter or Halloween gift candy thing, or just something stupid. The treasure chest I found for that Hot Wheel came from a McDonald's Hot Wheel or Happy Meal box, right? It was on the back of a little train, and I was like, well, fuck, I'll cut that fucker off of there. I'll cut it up. I'll put it on here. I'll do this, and I put a motor on there.
and call it day. Yep.
It's got diamonds for headlights, rubies for taillights. It all fits the treasure theme.
That was pretty
And
good.
that's what I like about the show rod stuff is you pick a theme, you find all the parts that fit within there, you see where they play out, and you work with it.
Yeah.
It's like
Man,
the
that's
bathtub
awesome.
buggy. It's anything that's in a bathroom and nothing else. They don't have kitchen supplies and living room stuff. It's just the bathroom.
Yeah.
But that's
something
the way my brain kind of works. It likes that creative theme stuff.
Oh, it ain't bad though. Every time I think of something like that, my mind is racing 1,000 a minute. That's why I be like trying to figure out what I'm gonna do with this kid and how I go about it, and I critique it so bad that it's like OCD with me. It's got to have everything in it. That's part when you told me the way you told me the other night.
Perfectionism will stop you dead in your tracks.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yes, it will. like you, I also have OCD, and mine especially is bad when I'm sitting at a table playing tabletop RPGs, and if there's a stack of books on the table, even if they do not belong to me,
Right.
I will first of all alphabetize them so that if you were to stand them up on end to where they, as if they were sitting in a bookshelf, they're going to be alphabetized A to Z, left to right, just like they would be in a bookshelf.
Right.
And I'm going to sit there and line up the corners of every book so that it's a nice, neat, perfect, straight up and down stack.
Right.
Anything else, if the books are all scattered up and down as far as for their alphabetizing and or all twisted back and forth and catty corner and cattywampus, it just drives me absolute bonkers, and I will literally run out of the room screaming if I can't straighten up the books and put them the way they need to be.
Shoot, my girlfriend does that now because every time I try to do something, it be all cluttered. I try to clean the house the best way I can for her. Me and her, I always try to keep the house clean and stuff like that. And then if it's not the way she wants, she gets twitchy because it's moved out of her way and it should be back the way it was before. I can't have a messy area and everything. I can't do that.
Yeah.
It's bad enough, you know.
I've let my workbench get beyond horrible, and it drives me nuts to look at it. But I'm really being lazy about straightening it back up. I need to, because it drives me nuts, and I can't stand to look at it. But I'm tired.
One thing I found with OCD and my ex-girlfriends, they only had OCD when it meant I had to do something they wanted. But when it was something that was actually an OCD issue, they never got triggered. So I gave up playing into their OCD bullshit, and I would do it on fucking purpose. And they didn't have OCD reactions. So I proved my point, and I told her, you don't have OCD, you have control issues, and you better fucking knock it off because you won't control me.
Right.
You will piss me off,
Right.
which is not controlling me.
Yeah.
You want me a happy boyfriend? Don't piss me off. Don't try to control me. Don't try to have expectations. Don't fucking do that stupid shit because I won't play it.
Right.
And we broke up.
That's just like
Ryan, I agree with you. I'm envious.
That's just like today.
I'd love to have that job.
That's just like with my girl, and I try to tell her, you know, I want to go to at least a couple of these shows and you know, and get the experience and stuff like that. And it's like, she's like, well, you told me the last minute and stuff like that, but and I'm like, and so I've been trying to tell you. I told you this like 2 weeks ago that I want to start going to a couple of these shows so I can get my feet wet. And this is like, you should just wait till next year. And I'm like telling her, why are you controlling me for that? Because you know, for one, I want to, you know, get out and meet people and stuff like that. And she needs to do the same thing. But her problem it's just like everybody else. Everybody takes advantage of you if you're doing something for them. And so, but when it comes to the middle of the household, you know, you won't do favors for the people in the household, but you want to do something for the next person outside the household, and I don't like that, you know, and that's why I was trying to tell her that was the issue I had.
And you know, for me, helping people outside of the house is all well and great, provided that the house is taken care of first. Once the household is taken care of and everything is great in the house, then if we have extra and can help other people, Yeah, I'm all for it.
Right. But when it comes,
Exactly right.
and stuff,
Oops.
but
I screwed up that cut. My bad.
Yep. Shortcut. I can't stretch it. Toss it out.
Oh, wait. Damn it. I made this one a little too long. Damn it.
That's crooked.
Now.
That's crooked.
I'll take care of that later.
Yep.
Yes.
Man, you mess up so much plastic. Yeah, I do it on. I mean, it happens on accident, not on purpose. Sorry.
Accidentally on purpose, but yeah,
Yeah.
on accident.
I need a sheet at home. Okay. Blame me if you want. I need it. Why? What are you gonna do with it? I'm gonna build a model.
excuse me. Now I got another question for you guys.
Go right ahead.
To one point where if the plastic gets like to get too thin on the body, if you keep stripping it so many times, do you just go ahead and build the model to that point when the body gets
Honestly,
get
if a
thinned out
body
somehow?
gets too damn thin, you're getting way too fucking aggressive.
Really?
Yeah.
Way too fucking aggressive.
Yeah. When you're stripping paint with a liquid chemical like Purple Power or Totally Awesome or whatever,
Or brake fluid.
that's not going to affect the thickness of the plastic. It's the sanding, like what you're doing right now. That's what's going to remove thickness of
Layers.
the plastic.
Yep.
And if you're getting your plastic too thin, it's because you're being too aggressive with your sanding. You're either using too low of a grit, or you're putting too much pressure on it with your hand.
Yeah, most model stuff, if you're wearing thin through it, either it was a short shot from the factory and it's already super thin, which means you really should have tried to put a backer behind it so it's thicker, or straight up you're gouging into it way too much, because that's how people do their rusted cars. They grind out the inside of the body and then drill holes through it to make it look like it's rusted.
Yeah.
I like that.
I mean, there's way more than enough thickness in a plastic body. If it was to scale, your bodies would be as thick as an aluminum can, which means it would just crumple the moment you picked it up.
Yeah.
The plastic wouldn't hold it at that thin, so it needs to have some thickness.
If you were to take the plastic body at their thickness that they are now and then expand it to the full 1-to-1, the body panels would be like that thick.
They'd be like a freaking concrete brick.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, the plastic, the thickness of the plastic on these kits is way out of scale, but it has to be for structural rigidity. Because
Which brings up a good point. If you were to open the doors on one of your models and you want scale realism, you have to thin down that door edge that opens. You know, the part that swings out. You want to thin that down so that it does look like the metal just wraps around instead of having this real thick door, you know.
Another good example of that too is the fenders or the cutouts on the body for where the tire goes for the fenders.
the wheel wells.
Wheel wells. That's the word I was looking for. A lot of guys will sand those from the inside, sand them thin, because you're right. It looks, so
it's too thick.
Yeah, it's too thick.
But the one thing that always gets me, if anybody's bitching about the thickness of the plastic and wants it real, you literally have to make a new hood out of aluminum.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you could never do it scale wise. You could never match those two numbers because, like you said, it would be so thin.
Right.
That you
And
wouldn't
then
be
if
able
you
to
put
do
a
it.
thin hood on an actual kit, it would sink down in there. You'd have to raise it up with little bumpers, you know?
Yeah.
And most
Well, it's a
people are
give
like,
and
yeah,
take.
fuck
Kind of how
that.
they
Just
do it
use
in
the
the
hood.
1-to-1 anyway,
You know?
but they've got those little adjustable bumpers on the four corners of the hood of a 1-to-1.
some of the people who used to complain, and rightfully so, about the old school resin bodies being so thick.
The
Those
resin
guys,
stuff, yeah, that's
those
super
guys
thick.
are super thick.
And a lot of that, you take the body, you fluff it or fill it full of freaking clay, plop it down so you can't get anything underneath inside the body, shave all your windows, and then you pour your mold over top of it. And then when you pull all the clay out, then you pour your second mold, you know. So you really got the thickness of the body plus anywhere there was an air gap where that freaking clay was at.
Well, they complain about the bodies being too thick, but they were bodies they couldn't get anywhere else. So instead of taking the time to do it,
Damn straight.
you can please some of the people some of the time, and none of the people all of the time. But you can never please all of the people all of the time.
But you can piss a lot of them off almost any time.
Yeah, that is a
If you
fact.
know what you're doing, yeah.
I mean, Jesse James said it best. If you didn't piss somebody off, you didn't build it right.
Exactly.
Right.
One of my heroes.
Yeah, because that what is that, 97 or 96 Mustang Cobra SVT model. I sprayed that Tesla's paint on there and stuff on it, and I know I kept wet sanding it several times and took a break here and there. It feels like it's the bodies just getting thinner and thinner. And my
You're using a pretty heavy grit's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
You might want to back off your grit. I don't know what you're using, but
Might want to go to a higher number of grit.
sandpaper. Yeah.
Like say if you're using 200 something grit,
240,
400.
Okay. Cause I was using like the 1,000 grit for the model.
If you're cutting through plastic in 1,000 grit, you using way too much.
Too much
I mean,
pressure.
even freaking bushing presses don't use that much pressure. Come on, man.
That's a lot of pressure. Yeah, you'd have to sand a lot on it to get to do that.
With 1,000
Right.
grit, holy shit,
Yeah.
that's like rubbing two pieces of paper together to make a fire.
Yeah. Yeah, 1,000 grit is pretty fine stuff.
I use 1,000 grit in between primer and paint, and you can hardly tell that I did anything to the primer. If you didn't, you can feel the difference, but you can't really see the difference.
Right.
Yeah,
All you're
right.
doing
Yeah,
is
you're-
taking off the high spots, and that's
Right.
it.
See, but the thing is, with that one, I think I was using. What did I use? I think I was using Russ Manonian primer at the time.
If
You know how
you're
to-
using automotive based, if you're using automotive sandpaper, that is a completely different than hobby grade sandpaper. Automotive sandpaper is definitely more aggressive
No, this is the paint.
than hobby grade.
What I'm saying is this is the primer. What I'm saying,
Oh,
the primer.
Okay.
Yeah, the primer.
Yeah, the
I kind
primer.
of like sand it down, sand that down and sand it down, and then I used the Tamiya because it was the old primer, and I want to make sure I put the new stuff on there, and then that's why I sprayed the Teslas. And how y'all was telling me before, sometimes Tesla's paint will grip so good it will melt the parts of the plastic.
Well, most of tester stuff is enamel. Once enamel gets on, it don't like to come off.
Yeah.
One
Right.
thing you definitely want to make sure of, whatever paint you're using, use the same brand throughout the process. Same
Okay.
primer, same paint, same clear.
Yeah.
See, that's what I
Agreed.
thought.
Because
all
you
That's
do
why I
not
work
want
together.
to. The one mistake you absolutely do not want to make is mixing Krylon with Rust-Oleum. I can 100% guarantee you it probably won't work. It will work
Oh, yeah.
one way, but it will not work the other.
Probably.
If you have
Oh, yeah,
Krylon
no
base
problem.
with the Rust-Oleum over it, it might. If you have Krylon over the Rust-Oleum, one direction or the other, it'll fuck it up. The
Oh,
other
yeah.
way, you have a small chance.
That's
So-
why I'm having trouble with the GT 500. I painted in like almost like a petty blue, and that blue did not come out the way I wanted it and stuff. So I might have to wet sand it down and reprime it somehow and put new paint or whatever.
See,
And
if you have a body that's painted, don't wet sand it back down to plastic to reprimer it.
Right.
Throw
just
it in the
stuff it.
purple pond. It'll go right back to plastic. Get rid of the primer and everything.
Okay.
And you're not going to lose all that little chrome detail or the badging or any of that.
Okay.
Because, I mean, literally, you're going to save yourself days worth of work by throwing it in a pond for a day or two.
Right.
You know?
Mhm.
I mean, if you want to sit there and work on your forearms and your muscles or something, go right ahead. But that to me sounds like a waste of fucking time. You know?
Yeah, because my thing was I keep using this the oven, the what you call the easy off.
Oh,
but
God.
This
That
the
works. But
lemon.
you better be careful with it because it'll eat the plastic.
And you better wear gloves.
And you better wear
Okay.
gloves.
But my thing was I don't know if it was stupid of me of getting the easy off because it's got lemon scented, and I don't know if I should got the regular easy off.
I don't think the lemon scent makes any difference. That's just an aromatic thing because it stinks so bad if you're cleaning.
Okay.
But honestly,
That-
I would say brake fluid, DOT3, get it at the dollar store for that matter. It works.
Mhm.
Purple Power, it works. Awesome,
Mhm.
it works. I think, what is it, Fantastic 409 or something like that? There's all
Yeah.
kinds of them out there. The Purple Power is probably the safest.
That's what I use because no matter how long you leave it in there, it won't eat your plastic. I
Just
say
do
that
not
within
put it in a
reason.
metal container.
No.
Make sure it's glass or plastic. You can. I use a plastic ice cream, a gallon ice cream jug.
Okay.
Put the body in there. It's going to sit at an angle if it's long. Fill it till it's fully covered. Dump the whole gallon in there for that matter. It's a fucking gallon jug, right?
That's a perfect tub for small pieces. I've
Right.
got 2 engine blocks in there. It's just Rubbermaid. I put a lid on it, and it stays over here in the corner of my workbench. And then whenever I'm not doing something, wait for paint to dry or something, I'll pick the motor out. I got a little toothbrush that I use to scrub it with. Knock
And
the
you
paint
don't have
off.
to wear gloves because it's just
Yeah.
a degreaser.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
And then you can wash it off with water. You don't need dish soap and all that shit to get it off. Brake fluid, if
That's
you use
different.
brake fluid,
You can watch that
you
shit.
definitely want to use like Dawn dish soap or something to get it off.
Okay.
Because otherwise it'll leave an oily substance on it.
Yeah, because lately I normally don't wash my models. Some of them I haven't washed. Now lately I've been doing it more often like I should and stuff, and it's been helping me a little bit more.
You should
So
only
I've
have
been
to
using.
wash them one time
Yep.
before you prime it. Before you prime it.
Okay. Yeah.
You should not have to wash it ever again after that.
Yeah.
Because once you get it in the primer and you got it sealed so it don't get dust on it, you go through, you do your last minute sanding, your tack cloth, you make sure it's clean, and you shoot your color on it.
Mhm.
And then after that, you're either wet sanding, clear coating, whatever. You should never touch water again. You only need to wash it once.
This one came out real slow. Whoa.
What mistake did you make,
Be
Tim?
ready.
Give us a 20-minute warning here for shutting down. So,
all right, Bob,
we'll shut down at 11:30 Central or 12:30 Eastern or wherever you're at. So about 20 minutes, give or take.
That's good.
Good. That'll be a good time to go to bed. I got to get up in the morning and go deal with my boss. I hate that guy.
You gotta go make some money so you can go fix the dude's truck so you can get some more Johans.
maybe I can earn some trust and make it up to the big house because he told me that's where all the good stuff was, and I was like, if 5 sealed 70s Johan kits ain't the good stuff that I can get out of the garage, I need to get into that house.
just wait until you get in there and you get to see like 4 rooms of the house, and you go through all that and spend a couple $100 or $1,000 or whatever. And he's like, you should see the stuff that's in the attic.
Right. Well, I'll put it to
Wait
you
a
this
minute.
way.
Wait a
Yeah.
minute. This is getting scary. I
Do
don't
you
want
have
to
any
know what you got in
candy?
the
Because if you
basement,
have
man.
candy, I might go up there. But
You
I'll
put
put
me
it
in
to
the
you this way: in
basement, I
his
probably
garage, he
won't get
lives
back up.
downtown Ocala in a 2-story house, and I don't know if you guys are familiar with Florida, but 2-story homes in Florida are almost non-existent because the ground is made out of
Later,
sand,
Bruce.
so it doesn't right. So he
Right.
lives downtown Ocala in a 2-story house. When I went to the garage, there's a early '70s Corvette sitting there, a Minx, one of those man Minx or whatever they call them, the Volkswagen dune rail
Right.
buggy, and a
Yep.
boat that I could probably live in the garage. I'm like, yeah, this guy's, and he's not old. He's older than me, but he's not old. But this guy's been around. I don't know what he does for a living, but he does a good job of it. I can tell you that. I'm like, I need to make it to the big house.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's a nice little honey hole, even if he's only got another 20, 30 kits, you know. If you get a fair
Well, he
price
had,
on them.
like I said, I can't show you the picture because I don't know how to put it up there. It's on my other phone. And again, the kits that he had that were in that case, there was probably another 50 kits in there, but it wasn't super hard to find stuff or rare stuff.
Right,
I mean,
right.
it was decent stuff, but not
Well, see, I
crazy.
wouldn't even call Johan stuff rare. It seems like every fucking buddy's buying sealed ones now and then. It's like, damn, them things are way more common than the shit I look for. You know, like none of y'all seem to have a Gruberwagen.
Kugelwagen? I built a couple of them. To me, once.
No, not the military ones. The Gruberwagen Revell Corvair engine show rod truck.
That.
The meter cheater and the moon mixer, the patent pending and the T-bone steak. All 5 of those are from a series. But yeah, the Gruberwagen that you're thinking of is the military VW thing, right?
Yeah. With the
I mean, I wouldn't mind one of them too, just because.
or the Schwimmwagen was the same thing with the propeller on it and the sealed up doors, so you could run some water.
Yep, the water amphibious one. Yeah, Gruberwagen it's kind of like a taxi cab, I think. No, that's the meter cheater. It's kind of like a popcorn wagon, beer wagon kind of thingish almost. It's got something in the back. I can't really see it on the cover, art cover, but they're just part of a 5-car series is all. Later, Tim. I seen Bruce was on his way out, and I saw him wave, but we was all too busy yapping.
Yeah, I didn't see it either. I had my face buried in this kit.
Buried in a kit? Does that happen often?
Some of them damn Japanese kits, they got all the little rubber grommets and all that crap in it.
Peace. That's one thing I used to like about the Tamiya car kits is the way the little black bushing that went inside the rims, and then you'd stick it on and it would bite, you know.
Yeah, those are great, except for these don't want to fit.
Little Vaseline.
I mean, it's nice. It allows you to take like the drop tank on and off, but geez, if they don't fit, then
Right.
what good are they?
Yeah, and if they're rubber, you can't really drill them out because it just stretches.
Well, I could drill out the plastic because it's not going into the plastic cup. It's supposed to hold it.
Whatever you do, don't get in such a hurry that you forget to turn the ventilator on your airbrush booth. Woohoo! Get high.
You might.
I did my paint booth is outside.
Well ventilated area.
I had to step away from that.
I tipped over the other night. I thought I was going to die.
Your airbrush booth.
Yeah, I need to build a paint booth. I need to build one or get one.
You get all your insulation sprayed in and taken care of there, Bob?
Nothing, no.
They got most of it, but not all of it?
Well, they got it all in, but the one wall in the upstairs bedroom, they put too much in.
Oh.
And they blew the wall out. So now they're gonna have to come back.
They blow the
Yeah.
inside or the outside out?
The inside,
Oof. That sucks.
which wouldn't have been bad, but nobody noticed it at the time. So it was like a foot and a half out into the room of foam.
He must have drove the nails or screws too deep into the drywall and it just popped out, eh?
Well, that room had paneling in it.
Oh.
And it just popped. They put so much in, it just pulled the nails right through the paneling
That's
in one
crazy.
spot. So they've got to come back, I guess, Tuesday or Wednesday. They're supposed to be here. And they've got to get all that foam out. And then we got to, so we can make repairs and then they can put the foam back in there again.
Right. Put up a plastic vapor barrier and fill it from the top down and then put your panel back on.
That's what I'm thinking. Just screw a piece of board on there now with a hole, drill a hole, put the foam in there, let the foam set and dry, and then put new paneling up over it.
Yeah, you could do that. Yeah, that's crazy. But everything else is done besides that?
Yeah, yeah.
That's cool. Make it a little quieter and warmer in the house? Noticeable difference or not really?
It hasn't really been that cold or anything yet, so since then, we don't really know probably till the air conditioning kicks on this in a month or so.
All right. You hear the street noise as much or not that close to the road anyway?
There's a house between us and the main road. The only time you really hear street noise is when the trucks hit the Jake brake going down the hill.
Gotcha.
Or the fire truck or the ambulance go by.
Or a helicopter.
Oh yeah, well the Chinooks, they shake the whole fucking house when they go past.
Yeah, it's like living by a train. Wouldn't matter how far away from the tracks you are, you're going shake.
Yeah. The National Guard Air Base is about 30 miles from here, so and they train flying over the river. So they're about 150, 200 yards away from me and about 100 yards up when they fly over with them damn Chinooks, and it just rattles the whole house.
Right.
The Blackhawks and stuff, they go through, you hardly even notice them, but the damn Chinooks, boy, they just...
Yeah, they're a little slower, ain't they?
And they got the two jet turbine engines in them and the huge two sets of giant rotors, and it's the thump, 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 thump.
Yeah.
You have a great night, sir.
That's one thing I always thought was interesting, like in the movies where a helicopter comes up over a hill. You never hear it till you see it. It's like, oh shit. You can't tell me you don't hear that.
Yeah, I served 5 years Navy, and I can personally tell you that those fuckers are loud. You hear them before you see them.
Right. But it's always funny in the movies, like you never see it if it's below, or you never hear it if it's below you, which only has a small bit of possibility to it. Because, like you said, they're loud. They ain't quiet. You know,
Between the sound of their engine alone, never mind
yeah, the high pitched
sound
whine
that the rotor makes, just the engine in and of itself, when it is running at flight speed, the son of a bitch is fucking loud, pardon my language.
Right.
And then when you add in the noise of the rotors chopping at that air, you know.
I mean, all that can be nice and loud and everything, but it doesn't get any louder until they fire them rockets and them guns. That shit get real loud.
Yes, sir.
Pew, 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 pew. That's me saying hi to Andrew, by the way. Pew, 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 pew. I'm surprised he didn't hop back in. Oh, wait, no, that was on Jeff's stream, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, he probably got home and had to go to bed. Got school in the morning.
Yeah, it was kind of a bummer. He couldn't really hear him because of the car wind noise.
Okay, I was wondering why. They just put them damn things in there, and then when you put the body together, you can't even see them. You got to trim that out.
Now I got that done. Oh. Now I just got what's in it.
Don't let your woman catch you wearing them gloves. She'll have you doing dishes.
Yeah.
Don't let your woman catch you wear those gloves. She'll have you doing dishes.
Oh, these mines. I bought those. I bought those, so she don't do no cleaning no way. So
Were y'all
she
on
don't.
Fafa's live earlier when I believe it was Marcy and Fafa and them were talking about shells falling down?
Yep.
Y'all jinxed
Mhm.
me. Y'all absolutely jinxed me.
How?
Fortunately, it wasn't my paint rack, but in between that one ending and this one starting, I came back in with my dinner and I shut the
All
door
right.
behind me, and my hat
Good
rack,
night,
coat
sir.
rack fell off the back of my door, and it
Oh,
knocked
wow.
down a pile of kits, but they were kits kits in the
Empty
box.
boxes. Empty boxes.
All my empty boxes, yeah. Didn't hurt anything, but I'm like, you bastards, jinx me.
Well, I'm sorry if I had any part in that.
I'm sorry.
I
I
wouldn't.
don't mean it. I don't mean to be apologetic, but I got to protect the kids too, even if they are empty boxes.
I
They
can
are just
honestly
empty
say I
boxes.
had nothing to do with that. I didn't get in on any of the chats until Bob's. So
You're lucky. That
Yeah, I
one,
was there. I can
it,
verify that.
it no more than hit the ground, and I'm like, they jinxed me. Them bastards jinxed me. Ugh.
Well, Bob, boys, it's been fun.
Yeah.
As
It's been
always.
fun, but it ain't been real fun.
What do you
going
mean
to
it
bed,
ain't been
Brad?
real fun? You're the one that's coming down on a model crash. You got all your model
I
hype
am. I'm coming
earlier.
down off my model high.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I just got lifted back up again, not turning the damn vent fan on and spraying that enamel paint. I think I'm back up there again.
Yeah. I was gonna go to sleep. Now I think I'm just gonna pass out.
Now I know what the birds feel like.
Yeah.
I've been doing that too much. I've been
I,
passing out
I,
a
tip,
lot lately
I
because
tipped
of the
over a whole
laughter.
bottle of the Tamiya extra thin the other night. I thought I was done for.
Is that why you flipped your mat over?
Not only will that piss you off and you get high from it, but it'll piss you off because now you got to go buy more, and that shit ain't cheap.
Right.
Right?
That's like my girl. I've got 2 of every one of those panel liners, and anytime I open up one of my paints, I always order another one to put behind it. She's like, "Why do you do that?" I said, "So I'll never run out."
Because if I spill this one
Now I
and
got
I'm in the
another one to
middle of
back
a
it up.
project, not good. That'd be
Yep.
like her painting her fingernails and getting 9 of them done and run out.
Exactly right.
That trick
And
ain't gonna work for her.
in her case, it would be the Vietnamese lady only got 9 done because she's got to go to the Vietnamese place to get it done because they do such a good job. Yeah, they charge you out the ass for that shit too.
Way.
But she pays for her own shit, so I ain't worried about it.
Yeah.
Her money, she do what she wants to. She works hard to earn it.
Right.
Right. Nothing wrong with that.
I wouldn't complain either.
She gives me a hairy eyebrow whenever I walk in here, especially holding 10 kits at a time. She'll raise her eyebrow up like, "What the hell do you got now?" But it
About
was
the
a
same
good
amount
deal,
of money
Mama.
spent as your nails.
It's a good deal, Mama. And all she said to me today when those came in, and she knows a little bit about it. She saw all the Johan stuff. She's like, "You do know you got to pay taxes, right?" I'm like, I know, I got a deal. I wouldn't buy it if I didn't have a deal."
I know my budget, and this was
Yep.
just barely around that.
I did not. I planned to spend about 100, 150, but I didn't realize I was going to come home with that much. That
Right.
was the bonus, right? I was like, yeah.
It's like the day that my dad asked me if I'd sell him some of my Hot Wheels because he does like indoor flea market and stuff.
Right.
I have like 8,000 of them, so I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll sell you some. I didn't expect him to be paying no $300 worth of cars, and I let him go for around 50 cents a piece, roughly. Carded stuff a little more, but most of the loose stuff, 50 cents a piece. It's what they're valued at, so why would I want more, And he said he was going to use it for garage sales, so I had to leave some meat on the bone, And I still have a few thousand left. Anybody want to buy some?
That was the one thing. My brother
Yeah.
was big on. My brother was big on Hot Wheels in the '70s because he's 7 years older than me. He's big on Hot Wheels, that's the one thing I never did. I mean, nothing against them, but I never got into it. I guess I went straight models and electric racetracks. I never really
Yeah.
spent much time with Hot Wheels. The
Well,
electric racetrack thing, I got into that big time.
I grew up with Hot Wheels as a kid, right? Not like any other person. I just freaking played with Hot Wheels. It's normal. And then I got into models at 4 years old, started building models. And it was 2000, 2001. I went to the Walmart that had their model shelf, and Ben Franklin was still there. I looked through all of their shelves for a model. Like all I could find was stuff I already had and already built and didn't want, right? And I happened to look down the aisle and I seen all the Hot Wheels, and I'm like, I just want the cars to look at. I could buy 10 Hot Wheels for the price of one model kit. Next thing you know, I started buying all the freaking Hot Wheels.
Yeah.
8,000 freaking Hot Wheels later, I'm like, yeah, no, I can't be buying this anymore. These little fuckers.
When it comes to the Hot Wheels, I played with them as a kid, and I had a fairly sizable collection of them at that time. But then when I got into the 24th and 25th scale polystyrenes, Hot Wheels fell by the wayside. I've just never gone back to them.
Cuda. Or as Jeff would say, Hemi. Or Cooter.
Cooter.
Yeah, it's Hemi Cuda. You're right. It's a Hemi Cuda. But the problem is with this one is the decal. Even the decal looks okay. Let me see if I can get a good light.
I kind of seen it. The decal sheet looked dirty.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like molded. It's got mold.
What you do is you take like a napkin or a tissue, you wet it, you wipe it across there, and then you dry it off right away. You do not let the water get past the decal. But you just want it damp, lightly damp, not like moist. And you just want to wipe it off the decal. Don't worry about the dirty part because you're going to cut all that off and it stays in the water anyway.
Right.
But as long as there's no cracks or anything, you shouldn't need to shoot it with clear coat.
Right.
I mean, you could shoot it right. I mean, wipe it off as best you can. Shoot it with clear coat. Cut them out. They'll come off just fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or you can ask me. I have a few dozen of those.
A while ago, y'all were talking about what you use to clean your models, and before Bob kicks us off here, I wanted to, I don't know, maybe some of y'all know, some of y'all don't. Ron Kuhn from Ron Kuhn Resins told me about this product called Clean Prep. It's literally what they use on one-to-one cars, because if you keep in mind, if you're using MCW paints, Scale Finishes paints, even Tamiya paints, they're either lacquer-based or enamel-based, and that's exactly what they're shooting on cars. The Clean Prep, I bought a gallon of it for like $20. It sounds like a lot, but you're only using this stuff a little bit at a time. I put it on a Q-tip and clean everything before I paint it. It evaporates, and and I'll tell you exactly why. I'll back up a little bit and tell you exactly why I started using this as opposed to, I've been a Dawn soap and water guy forever. But I did what was it I did? It was something, and it had some detail. The motorcycle. The intake for the motorcycle is a big plastic piece that runs from the front of the bike all the way up underneath it. And not knowing it had trapped water and soapy water inside of it. And I had wiped it all off, blew it out. I got a little blower that I used to blow it out. And I went and painted. And then when I flipped it over to paint the other side, the water ran out of it and ran across my wet paint and ruined my paint. So I was complaining about it. I mean, it's stuck in the Purple Pond, start over, lesson learned. But I was complaining about it, and Ron Kuhn told me about this product. It evaporates like alcohol does. It doesn't hurt the plastic in any way, and it really and truly will get all your oils and everything from your fingers off of it. Once I use this, I make sure not to touch the piece again without gloves on. But for $20, I filled that up like 8 or 10 models ago, and I've probably thrown away half of what I've used because I put it in them little dental cups, little plastic dental cups. I put a couple squirts in there, and it always seems like I put a little bit too much in there for what I need. But just something, I mean, soap and water works, don't get me wrong, but this stuff is I used alcohol, but the problem with alcohol is if it dries out, it essentially
Right.
can do damage to the paint or damage to the plastic.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, technically it can. I've never seen it do it, if I'm being honest, but that stuff just works really well.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to
Thanks.
try that then. 'Cause
It's
With
called
Thanks
Clean
for the tip.
Prep.
Clean Plat.
Does
Yep,
that
clean
start with a K
but
or a
it's
C?
yeah, KLEEN Prep.
That's what I thought. That's what I
Yeah.
thought. Yeah.
Okay.
So he's the
Okay.
one that turned me on to that dolphin skin, which is a 2-piece filler. Again, was
Mhm.
working on something, and I was a big fan of the Tamiya, water based acrylic putty, and then I had to drop it off at the Purple Pond. It was something on the Volkswagen. Oh, the body on the Volkswagen because I messed up the paint on it, so I stuck the whole body in there, and all the body work that I did with the plastic Tamiya or Valero, this shit,
Mhm.
yeah, that shit, it ate all that stuff away. So I was complaining about that, and Ron told me about the 2-part Dolphin putty and the three. This is 1 part 3M. I use that too, but the 2-part Dolphin stuff is really nice.
Mhm.
You put the hardener. It's 2-piece. You put it's just like Bondo or whatever. You put the hardener in it, and
The
then when it
Right.
catalyst.
hardens up, it dries real quick and ready. Like 20 minutes, it's ready to be sanded and painted. And
Right.
I like it, but the problem with it is you got to be quick. You want to make sure you
Mm.
want to make sure you get it mixed up, get it on there, get it on the piece that you want it. Scrape off the extra, let it harden up, then sand it because it will harden up pretty quick.
Well, some of
Mm.
that's the amount of catalytic ratio, but
Yeah, that's
yeah, you
true.
you
Yeah.
still
Right.
want to work with
Yeah.
mix small batches and work fast.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. Now my other question is too is I've been hearing a lot with the Valero paint. Are they good? Really good? Like I keep hearing, it's good paint and
I'm
everything
not a fan.
else.
I'm not. I'm personally not a fan of them or the Createx, but I know a lot of guys make them work. Me personally, I've seen a lot of guys that do military stuff will use the
Uh-huh.
Valero and have really good luck. But me
I don't
personally,
Okay.
use
no,
it
I
for
don't
my
like it.
body finish, but I use it for about everything else. I'll use it for my interiors and engines and all that kind of stuff. Just not the, and I use it for all my military stuff.
Well,
Okay.
at one point when Vallejo came out and they were the common brand, they didn't have a whole lot
Mhm.
of competition, so they got a good name as a new product. Blah blah blah.
Right.
And then another new product come out, and then another one, and another one, and then
Mhm.
MCW, and then another one, and
And now
I
you have,
mean, it all depends on do they have the color, do they have the price?
Yeah.
Right.
and
If you're
Point
just
another
blank.
if you're
another
just
thing
starting,
to
especially
also
with an
talk
airbrush,
about.
if you're just starting with the airbrush, I highly recommend the Createx if you're going to have practice bodies and whatnot. The reason I tell
Mhm.
you that I say that is because the Createx is so cheap
Yeah,
that it's great to practice on. But Tamiya, that's really good paint. The MCWs, and as just like anything else, as you grow, you open yourself up to different possibilities. You can get this
another
color,
good
that
thing
color.
for
Right.
practicing when you first get your airbrush, a great paint to practice with.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yep.
the
Yep.
sword,
I love that.
You're not
that's
going
not
to
Apple
worth
get
Barrel.
the
Apple
apple
Barrel
barrel
cheap.
or any brand craft paint. This
It's
stuff
cheap.
is
Mhm.
so cheap.
It
Like
is.
Right.
this little
I used to use that a lot.
these little 2 ounce bottles. They're less than
Mhm.
$1 a bottle.
Yep.
Right.
Half the time you can grab them off the clearance section for 50 cents.
Yeah.
Yep. And it'll teach you two things. Teach you how to get the consistency right because you have to blend them, and
Yeah,
those you blend with
Mhm.
water or distilled water or whatever.
yeah.
And it'll teach you what consistency you need to. Everybody says skim milk, which is a good good visual reference. It looks like skim milk when you pull your stir stick out and you put it on the side of your airbrush bowl. It doesn't clump up. It doesn't doesn't fall off. But at the same time, it looks like skim milk.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
Right.
yeah,
when
that'll
when
teach
you
you how
pull
to do
your
that.
stir stick out, you want it to all drain off. You don't want
Yeah.
clumps. You don't want it going slow.
You don't want to go too fast or too slow. So
Yep.
And
Mhm.
it
that
is
that's why that
thick.
craft paint. And if you screw it
You
up, it's
do
easy to
have
clean up with
to
soapy water. When I'm
Right.
shooting craft paint, when I'm shooting acrylic paint, I got a little bottle. I've got bottles, those squirt bottles for everything. and I'll put Royal Purple or Purple Cleaner in the squirt bottle when I'm spraying acrylic. So if you mess it up, you get it too thick and it gums up your airbrush, you dump the paint out into the trash, hit it with that purple powder, run it through there, clean it up, start all over again. It's super easy. You don't have to have a paint booth because there's no fumes. It's all water based paint. So
Right.
you can have
Right.
a cardboard box so your air, you don't want your overspray going everywhere, but you put it
Mm-hmm.
inside of a cardboard box, and that it's a great way to practice and
Yeah.
get to know
Yeah.
your paints. Bob,
Yeah.
we've
Cause
gone
that's one.
past our time, bud. So I think that's some of
All
my
right.
fault for running my gator, but
Yeah. Well,
I'm going to dip out of here. Thank you to the panel for putting up with my crap and looking at my crap. We appreciate you guys. The chat. You guys have a good night. Be
Hey,
safe.
we are just as happy for you are as you are for what you got. So
Yeah, I
Right.
was pretty
Yeah.
excited today. Pretty excited.
Hey,
Today's a good day.
Mike, kiss
Thank
my
you, Bob, for having us here,
you're
and
very
Absolutely.
thank
Thank
you
you,
welcome.
Bob.
everybody in the chat.
We'll be
All
back
right.
on
So,
Thursday.
just
Night,
real
y'all.
quick before Bob
and
kicks
thank you everybody in the panel.
great option for
Hey,
paint. Once you get good with it, Barbados Rex has his Mecha Empire line that
that's good.
is excellent, excellent paint.
And one more thing before I go, y'all kiss my ass.
Kiss my ass.
I was trying to get that figured out why, but that's for another. That's another answer. Another question for later. So same time, same Bob channel. So you
Yep.
guys have a
Thursday
good night.
night at 6 o'clock Eastern time.
Y'all
All
have a
right.
great night. Sleep well. That goes for everybody in chat as well. And kiss my ass.
Good night, everybody. We will see you Thursday night, 6 o'clock Eastern time, and we will be live then. I don't think we'll have anything pop up before then. So good morning, good evening, good night, depending where you're in the world when you watch this, and we will see you on the next one. Good night.